that delayed? Why am I that delayed?
To the greatest damn show on YouTube. To the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Am I lagging? Oh man, double tap the screen, shutter live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double tap the screen, shutter live out. What we doing tonight, chat? Double stream plug is in the building. Are we locked in, chat? Hold on. Are we locked in, chat? Double tap the screen, shutter live out, man. We are back with another episode, man. Just hold on, Bataya. Just hold on, Bataya. We're gonna get into that, man. We got Trump wants a weapon ban for trans. We got the Epstein list unfolding, and we got RFK going off, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin, and tell them plug live and he running his mouth. I know you said you didn't hear the name drop. We're gonna get into that. That drop, the name, it's been floating around, but it hadn't been, actually confirmed. It's the guy from the donor, the one that was donating to Trump. Let me pull it up right quick. I got it right here. John Paulson. Some of y'all might have heard of John Paulson. A lot of y'all have not have heard of John Paulson. We're going to get into that here in a minute. Batia, I don't know if that's how I say your name, Batia. We're going to talk about John Paulson. Carlos, what it do? Big Niece, hey, how you doing, girl? Double tap the screen, shut a live out on your way in, man. We finna get into it, man. Y'all know what time it is. Where that baby go at, man? Man? Y'all got me slacking on that intro mode, man. Where is that baby goat, man? Hold on, chat. I know. Hold on. There it go. There go that baby goat. Let's get in the intro mode.
I told my niggas to mark my word, I guarantee that I'm next. I got the arms of a bodybuilder from the way that I flex. Might just hit the strip just to go blow me a check. They know what the fuck I'm on. They say they ain't got some of the best gas, they call it Southern Georgia. Chain on chain and ice on ice like Adam Sandler, I'm water boy. I know I'm all in the head. That bitch laying in my bed. Wait till I give her a spread. I'm a master with the head. Don't let these social fool you, these niggas broke. I know that they ain't bought it. Ain't got no car but talking shit. Okay, then little walkie talkie. I told that bitch to come home. I ain't got time for no bitch that's healing. Talk to blood, she called me daddy. And I'm screaming out no dick. I'ma make sure that she come. I'ma fuck her good with my tongue. I know the night is still young. So baby, let's get it in. I know just how she like it tonight. She spicy, she added a friend. They ain't identical, but they fuck alike. So in the bed, I call them twin. Bet I call them twin. Bitch, and shoot a shoot. 1 + 1 that equal 2. What you tryna do? Go back for back, check a swoop for swoop. Either way it go, I'm on. Either way it go, I'm gone. Brody them just got like 100 on 'em and they tryna get 'em gone. What you call it, J Wet? What's the name? And he put it in his song. Brody them got the purest powder, it's pink. You know this shit is strong.
No Diddy.
I'm the type of nigga that turn my bitch up in each city. Brody got out, we celebrating, we hit the gritty. I'm feeling like a baby, I'm tryna get that milk about them titties. It's no question who young and the littest. If you want your bitch, then when she talking, hear her. If I want the bitch, I'm going Pittsburgh. Still her. I keep some on the side, I don't have trust in just the main bitch. Suck me up while I'm driving like damn, I'll die by this lane switch. She a different type of freak, so we ain't never got a tussle. Throw it back like Miss London, and some of your life be hustle. Yeah.
Oh man, double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Let's get to 100 likes right quick, chat. Let's get right quick to 100 likes. NC Tyrant Hunter, what it do? Corn Plum said this music sucks. Corn Plum, you suck, my boy. How about that, man? Double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Call your auntie, uncle, and your cousin. Tell them plug live and he running his mouth, man. We got an action-packed episode. As y'all can see, we got Officer Tatum with Netanyahu, chat. Do y'all think Netanyahu like black people? I mean, I don't know. I just thought I'd ask. I mean, I ain't seen him do an interview, you know. I mean, we did see him with Patrick Bet-David, and he said he was going to be doing a press conference, so I expected him to be with more creators. Now we see him with Officer Tatum Netanyahu interview. We finna break it down. We finna go deep dive into that. Like I was saying about the Epstein list earlier, y'all know Representative Thomas Massey just put John Paulson's name officially out there. His name had been floating around before, but this is the first time that we've seen somebody get up there and just put it on national news. Like, hey, this guy here, not Epstein, not Trump, not these other people. This guy, John Paulson, is one of the billionaires in Epstein's black book. It says Paulson isn't just some rich guy. He's a major GOP donor pumping money into the Republican Party, the Speaker of the House, and Trump's campaign. So this might be the fake news stuff. When Trump keeps saying it's a hoax and everybody's like, oh, why is he calling it a hoax? If he was helping bring the case down from way back then, if he was one of the first people to turn on Epstein, why is he calling it a hoax? Well, we know that he just came out and tried to do what the other day? Raise money. Campaign fund. They're trying to raise money right now. He said that he want to make it to heaven, that when he took the shot to the ear, that God saved him so he could make America great again, and that was a campaign donation fund. This guy is a major GOP donor. Probably don't want his name out there just getting blasted all through there. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that is what is going on. Maybe that is what is going on. I don't know, but we're going to get into that later. We did talk about Drewski earlier, and then we got the big story of the night. The DOJ is considering banning trans people from having guns, chat. Now, this is a touchy subject. A lot of people on the right are saying that this is going to make the Democrats defend guns. A lot of people on the left are saying, you know, this is crazy for them to even say that this is a mental health problem. You know me, I'm plugged. I'm going to say it like this. I don't like when they get ready to infringe upon rights, man. When it's gun rights and stuff like that, man, I don't like that. Whether they trans, whether they LGBTQ plus, man, they should be able to protect their damn self, especially in their home. Now, that's my opinion. How y'all feel about it, we're going to get into that later when I open up the call lines and we take some calls. We're going to hear about it. We'll go back and forth and, you know, have that conversation. We'll have that conversation. What else do we have? We got RFK. RFK is going viral right now. He called out Elizabeth Warren for taking $855,000 from Big Pharma. They said Bernie Sanders couldn't even hold it in. He just got to screaming like, everybody takes money from Big Pharma. And they're saying that it's all falling down. And we know Florida just rolled back their vaccine mandates even for the schools, man. We got a lot going on tonight, chat. But the big story of the night, other than the trans and the guns, is Officer Tatum sitting down with Netanyahu, chat. So I'm going to ask you, chat, press 1 in the chat if y'all think Netanyahu was thrilled to sit down with Officer Tatum. Do y'all think Netanyahu was thrilled? Press 1 if y'all think Netanyahu couldn't wait to sit down with Officer Tatum. Press 2 if you do not think that's the case. I hope everybody's having a good night. We are currently 29 minutes away from Plug After Dark, chat. 29 minutes away from Plug After Dark. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We are currently 36 subscribers away from 31,200. 36 subscribers away. Can I get a subscription out of one of you good people in here tonight? Can I get a subscription out of one of you good people tonight, man? Let's get into the interview, chat. Let's get into the interview. I'm going to open the call lines up after we watch this clip. I will open the call lines up.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. I know that you guys had some crazy circumstances going on over there in Israel with bombs coming in, and so I thank you for coming on and doing this anyway. There are people who believe that relationships of Christians in Israel aren't as good.
Christians are not merely tolerated in Israel. They're welcomed as a treasure. And Israel is the only place in the Middle East where Christians are safe.
What is your response to people that are saying IDF is killing people as they go to the places that they're supposed to be served food?
Hamas was looting the food trucks at gunpoint. They were shooting the drivers. They were taking the food. They took the lion's share for themselves. So they were actually stealing food from their own people.
They're making these claims that Israel is committing war crimes, you are a war criminal. Can you respond directly to those charges? Prime Minister Netanyahu, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on. I know that you guys had some crazy circumstances going on over there in Israel with bombs coming in, and so I thank you for coming on and doing this anyway and having this interview with me. I just got a couple questions I want to ask. Obviously, I've been to Israel. I love Israel. I'm obviously pro-Israel. So I think a lot of people that follow me know that. But I have a couple questions I just want to ask you because there are people in our country who I would argue are Nathan.
Has Officer Tatum explained why he's pro-Israel? I'm just asking, Chad. I'm just asking. I mean, I just want to know why. You know.
Sayers, people who disagree with some of the things that I've said and some of the things that you've said. And so one of the things that I find to be dear to the hearts of people in America is the relationship between Israel, the Christians who live there. And there are people who believe, to a small degree, in my opinion, that Christians' relationships or the relationships of Christians in Israel aren't as good. And so can you speak to that, Prime Minister, about how Christians live in Israel? Are they accepted in Israel? Are they treated?
It's a nice suit Netanyahu got on, man. It's a nice suit right there, man.
Fairly in Israel. And then we'll get to some of the Christians that are in Gaza.
Well, first of all, this is the birthplace of Christianity. In all these sites, people could walk and do walk in the footsteps of Jesus. Christians are not merely tolerated in Israel. They're welcomed as a treasure of our common Christian heritage. And Israel is the only place in the Middle East where Christians are safe, because throughout the Middle East, churches are bombed, Christians are killed, as happened in Syria, murdered mercilessly, and elsewhere. And in Israel, we are brothers. And, we have...
Now, this is a far, far, far away from what a lot of the content creators are pushing right now. You know, we got Nick Fuentes, we got other content creators saying that, look, man, they spit on Christians over there, man. They don't like you. They look down upon you. They kick you. They do whatever to you over there, man. You are nothing. And now we got Netanyahu telling Officer Tatum that, no, you're not merely tolerated. You're welcome. You're not tolerated. You're welcome. Come here. This is the only place in the Middle East you can call a safe haven. So we got conflicting views here, chat. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. If you are in my chat and you are not a bot, say something. Press 1, 5, 7, 32, 15, man. Let me know y'all not bots in here, man.
I think 300 Christmas trees.
Or if you are a bot, say, hey, I'm a bot. Let me know.
That have been brought to Jerusalem to enable Christians to celebrate Christmas. I visit Christian communities all the time. We welcome them. Many of them, by the way, serve in our military, brave defenders. And I'll give you an example of what happens when we're not here. Under the Oslo Accords, we gave Bethlehem. I don't have to explain what Bethlehem is, do I, Brandon? I mean, it's a holy place for the Christians. Well, when we were there for decades, the Christian community was 80% of the population, and the Muslim community was 20%, actually less than 20%. We left it, we gave it to the Palestinian Authority, the Muslim Palestinian Authority. Now, a few decades later, the numbers are exactly reversed. There are 80% Muslims in Bethlehem, and less than 20% Christians. They've basically been booted out. So it's good to be a Christian in Israel. It's bad to be a Christian outside of Israel in the Middle East. Not everywhere. Some places they're more tolerated more than elsewhere, in some of the Gulf states, for example. But this is what characterizes us. We cherish the holy places.
Renee said, okay, I subscribed. I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I do not support Trump. I don't support anyone in that regime. Welcome home, Renee. I am Plug. I am the voice of the politically homeless, man. We call out the left. We call out the right. We call out everybody for the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. We give pats on the back, and we come and bring the hard conversations. I'm glad that you found the home, Renee. Double tap the screen, shut the live out, share this video out far and wide. Do not gatekeep. Right now, we're breaking down what Netanyahu's saying to Officer Tatum. I see a few of y'all in the chat calling him DJ Academics. I never knew how much he resembled DJ Academics until y'all just pointed that out to me. That's crazy.
Freedom to worship, the fact that people have different faiths, different beliefs, we not only tolerate it, we treasure it, and we protect it.
Prime Minister, there's a sentiment of, I guess, mistreatment of Christians in Gaza from Israel. People point to the Catholic Church that was bombed in Gaza. People point to the Christians who live in Gaza now that are refusing.
Richard says, shit show. They sure try to put sugar on it, don't they, Richard? Don't everybody in the world try to put sugar on shit nowadays? OG Yosemite, what it do? James Arnold, I hope you having a good night. La la, do you got those plain lays, la la? Do you got those plain lays on deck, la la? Where is Drip? I hope Drip doing well, man, tonight. Drip coming in on the late night, hopefully, man. I want to ask Drip about the narco ships. That's what I really want to ask Drip about, the ships, about the attacks on the narco ships.
After giving an order to leave the area, because obviously there's going to be military operations there. What do you say to the naysayers who are saying that Christians may be safe in Israel proper, but they're not safe in Gaza, and that there's no regard for Christianity and holy sites in Gaza?
Well, there are very few numbers of Christians in Gaza because Hamas is a tyranny. It's a terrorist tyranny that wants to not only murder all the...
Chad, him speaking on Gaza made me realize, like, I've seen recent pictures of Gaza, and what Corey World was saying about Gaza being rubble and being, like, messed up, like, Corey World was right about that. But I didn't see how Gaza used to look, like, before all of this stuff. Gaza was a nice place. Like, if those pictures that I seen are, like, you know what I mean, like, I know it was an aerial view, but the shit didn't look bad. It looked damn good. And now it's just rubble. Like, gosh, Corey World, you might have been on this on Corey World.
But it doesn't accept Christianity. It doesn't accept other faiths. It doesn't even accept other persuasions of Islam that they deem are heretic. So it's not good to be a Christian in Gaza, and that's why there are not many of them. I think that our concern for the welfare of Christians in Gaza is our concern for the welfare of civilians.
I want to hear Huckabee talk, man. Where is Mike Huckabee speaking? Like, where Arkansas at, man? Where you at, Arkansas? I want to see Mike Huckabee sit down with Netanyahu. Press 1 chat if y'all would like to see Mike Huckabee sit down with Netanyahu.
We've sent millions of text messages to Gazans to leave battle zones. We've sent, sent text messages, phone calls, and Hamas has been shooting people who want to leave war zones. They actually shoot women and children because they use the civilian population as human shields. Now, as far as
what's up, Mona?
Talking about, that was an unfortunate accident. You know, there are things that happen in war, and they're not intentional. They happen. And a church was bombed. The Pope. Listen, I'm very sorry that this happened. It wasn't intentional. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
He owned up to it. Netanyahu owned up to bombing the church. I did not see this coming. Wow, Netanyahu just owned up to bombing the church. That's how you know social media is powerful. Mainstream media, you know, this shit would have just went, you know what I'm saying? They would have called whoever and got the stories ran, however the hell they would have got ran. We have a day and age in 2025, September the the 4th, where Netanyahu comes on Officer Tatum's show and tells the world they bombed the church and apologize for it. Like, hey, man, this is 2025. This shit wouldn't have happened in 2020, chat. This shit wouldn't have happened any time before now. We are in a day and age where Netanyahu just got on Officer Tatum's show and said, we bombed the church. Sorry. Oh, what Cat Williams said was right, chat. Cat Williams was right. Press 2 in the chat if y'all think Cat Williams was right about what he said, man.
Has been shooting people who want to leave war zones. They actually shoot women and children.
You said what's meant by name drop? I'm gonna tell you, Mona, because you've been around, man. Mona, you've been supporting the channel. I'm gonna tell you. It's Representative Thomas Massey named a billionaire in Epstein's black book, John Paulson. John Paulson's name has been floated around before, allegedly, but it's saying Paulson isn't just some rich guy. He's a major GOP donor, pumping money into the Republican Party, the Speaker of the House, and Trump's campaign. And we have Representative Thomas Massey on Newsmax. I think he did a whole press conference, dropping John Paulson's name. Double tap the screen, share the live out, man. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. That's crazy. Netanyahu just admitted to that. Listen, chat, listen.
Text messages, phone calls, and Hamas has been shooting people who want to leave war zones. They actually shoot women and children because they...
We're going to open the phone lines after this clip, Coco. Before we move into the Epstein and the other things, we're going to watch this clip and then we'll open the phone lines.
Use the civilian population as human shields. Now, as far as the church you're talking about, that was an unfortunate accident. There are things that happen in war, and they're not intentional. They happen. And a church was bombed. But listen, I'm very sorry that this happened. It wasn't intentional. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that the Christian leaders and the staff can come back to this church. We actually made a safe passage for them. And they can rebuild, with our help, rebuild that church. Because that's our policy. Accidents do happen in war, but that in no way reflects on our policy. And in fact, the way we treat it.
Dang, Chad. My gimbal always dying. Hold on, Chad. I gotta get this shit together. Hold on, Chad. Let me check out the aesthetic of this shit, man. Y'all all in my damn face right now. Hold on. Alright. Maybe that's how it should be. I want to know why my gimbal is saying it's dying, but... Alright, chat. Double tap the screen, shut the live out. Netanyahu is saying that he's going to rebuild that church. He's saying that they're going to clear out a safe path for for them to come through, and he's going to rebuild that church, man. Do y'all think that's the right thing to do, chat? Press 1 if you think that's the right thing to do. Netanyahu helping them rebuild the church. Press 2 if they should just get out of those people's way.
This mishap does reflect on our policy because we actually took care of them and we do everything in our power to protect them. In a war zone, it's much more difficult, obviously, but we still go to lengths to do that. And in Israel, if you actually talk to the majority of Christians, talk to them. What they say Israel is the only place where we're respected and protected.
And I can attest to that as a Christian who went to Israel. I spent 2 weeks there with the church, and we had an incredible time. We had only one incident where a small child spit on one of the pastors, and immediately after there was an adult that came by and said, "That's not a representation of who we are. We love you guys. You guys are always welcome here." And I have to say, no adults gave us any grief. We had no issues whatsoever in our experience there. It was actually an amazing experience. It actually changed the way I thought about Israel, and I fell in love with Israel when I came there. And I think a lot of that is a testament to how Christians are actually treated, not what the naysayers say.
I want to add to that. Look, one of my lifelong friends is Willem Vanderveen, and he was for many years He established the Christian embassy in Jerusalem. He brought in Christian communities into Israel from around the world. And I went to a lot of their celebrations. They celebrate a lot of holidays, including Christmas, obviously, but many others. They also celebrate our holidays, like the Feast of Tabernacles and so on. And I made it a point to go there every year. So the whole image, the false image, this horrible vilification against the one democracy in the Middle East, Israel, that embraces Christianity, that embraces our common heritage. I mean, this is a vile, vile lie that shouldn't be allowed to spread. And I think we can debunk it easily. Come to Israel, you'll see how you'll be greeted with open arms, as you were.
And I wrote down a couple questions because I didn't want to miss anything. The accusation.
Do y'all think Officer Tatum go to a black church? I mean, not that it matters. I just want to know, like, when he went over there, was he with, like, primarily with, like, a black group of people, or was he, you know, with a mixed group of people? Do y'all think Officer Tatum go to a black church? Like, when they went to visit Israel with his church, he said about 20 people. Was it like 20 black people? Let's not sugarcoat it, chat. Was it like 20 black people that went over there with Officer Tatum? I don't know, man.
War crimes. So we see it all over mainstream media here in the United States of America, all over the world. They're making these claims that Israel is committing war crimes, you are a war criminal, and that you guys are indiscriminately, not only, like we mentioned before, destroying Christian monuments in Gaza, but killing people indiscriminately, especially children. And these are some of the accusations that...
You said, why do I care so much about color? It's not just, it's about his experience over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to a church in the South like this. You go to a church in the South, when you come into the church, a black church in the South, if you are a visitor, they're going to point your ass out. They're going to say, all newcomers stand up. They're going to make you stand up, say your name, say it's your first time, say if you're going to become a member of the church. They're going to ask if you're just visiting, who brought you. Our doors are always open. I'm just trying to figure out his experience. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out his experience visiting Israel. Was he with the, you know what I'm saying? That's why I ask. Hell, shit, let's be real.
That have come out. Can you respond directly to those charges? You know, many, and you've probably heard this too, many people say that you are facing criminal charges and this is the reason why you're perpetuating the war. Can you speak to those issues that people are bringing up, justifiably or not? Can you speak to that, Prime Minister?
Yes, I can. First of all, about our policy in conducting a just war. We do that with just means. No army in history has gone to the lengths that Israel has gone to protect the civilian population in enemy territory.
LB, Tatum didn't just hand BB all softball questions. He asked him about that church being bombed. So we can say that he's kind of, you know, being a little soft on Netanyahu, but can we really say he's being soft when he asked him about a church being bombed? Like, hey, Netanyahu, what's up with that church y'all bombed over there? Is that a softball question? I mean, maybe the way he worded it could have been, you know what I'm saying? But Netanyahu was like, hey, yeah, man, we're in a war. Shit happens. It was an accident. We bombed that church, man. I'm not going to hide from it. We're going to help them rebuild it, but we did it. So, I mean, I don't think that's just all softball questions.
You know of any other army in the world who's put in 2 million tons of food, population of an enemy territory? You won't find that. Or that, for that matter, that warns people, before we take action, losing the element of surprise, we're going to come into this neighborhood, please leave. Said Hamas shoots them in order to prevent them from leaving, because Hamas wants them killed. And then they can shift the blame to us. And of course the media buy the Hamas lies and statistics, hook, line, and sinker. And that's how you get the civilian casualties. But if you look at other theaters, and Colonel John Spencer of West Point, who's the head of urban studies in the West Point, he
didn't say he had a bad experience. He said a little kid spit at him, though. He did say a little kid spit at him while he was over there.
Studied all urban conflicts in modern times.
Why the hell is my gimbal steady dying, bro?
Unprecedented lengths to prevent civilian casualties. And the ratio is probably about 1.5 to 1, 1.5 non-combatants to 1. which is probably very low, very, very low compared to what it was in various theaters in the Iraq War, in other places as well, in Afghanistan, where it climbed up to as many as 7-1. It's a very dense urban environment. Hamas took all the money that was given to them, billions, and poured it not into building Gaza, but into building a terror underground city under Gaza. They don't let the civilian population go into the tunnels. They go into the tunnels to protect themselves, and they force the civilian population above ground to stay in the battle zones. That's why you have the casualties, and they should be, the accusation should be put squarely on Hamas's corner. Now, as far as accusing me of war crimes, that's incredible, you know. Yeah, it was surface level. Of course, they'd accuse us of anything. They'd accuse me of anything. But the ICC, the International Criminal Court, was asked to check it. So the ICC prosecutor said, well, I'm going to come to Israel. I'm going to look at things directly by myself. And
all right, chat, I'm going to ask you guys, man, Netanyahu, man, this is the court of public opinion right here, man. Press 1 in the chat if you think Netanyahu has committed war crimes. Press 3 if you do not think Netanyahu has committed war crimes, man. 1 if you think Netanyahu has committed war crimes. 3 if you don't. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. We're 25 subs away from the next sub goal. We go live every single day over here talking entertainment, current events, and politics, man.
Plans a visit. He even says that Israel has an exemplary independent judiciary, which means that, you know, we can investigate and do investigate any charges of war crimes by our own people. Very few democracies do to that extent. To come here. I'll tell you what happens, Brenda. The day that he's supposed to come here, he cancels the visit. And a day or two later, these warrants of war crimes against me and our former defense minister. You know, we didn't understand why. You said you'd come and check it, and you spoke about our judicial system. What happened? It took us a while. It took us several months to know what really transpired. What happened is that a few days before the planned visit, accused by a female staff member in his office of raping and molesting her. And he said, well, I'm ruined. And by the way, he had good reason to think that, because his own brother, who's a member of parliament in Britain, was put in jail for sexual assault. And so he thought that's where he's going. Figured out, you know, there's one way to get out of this. It's to, you know, hit the Jews. Hit me. You know, you'll get all the ultra progressives to line up with him, all the anti-Semites of the world, to line up with him, you know, and somehow exonerate him. So he wasn't there to defend justice. He was there to escape justice. That's what he was doing. And for a while it held.
I'm not going to lie, Chad. Him saying that about the war crimes and the guy putting those war crime charges on him because he got caught doing some atrocities is kind of crazy when we just seen the guy from Vegas get caught doing those atrocities and get to go back home. And those other like 70 people that got to go back home after that, you know what I'm saying, did what they did. It's just kind of crazy.
Then some other woman surfaced just now and accused him of the same crime. So what he was doing to escape his own culpability, he blamed Israel of the worst crimes, which is laughable. I mean, look, all these leaders of Iran, leaders of various jihadist communities, all charged with war crimes. I mean, you can charge them from here to, you can circle the earth with the number of charges that they have. They're welcomed around the world. You know, they're feted. Israel, the one democracy that does all these things to avoid hurting civilians, is accused by this corrupt prosecutor who was trying to escape justice. So I think that it's one of those.
Beach Boy says these gotta be bots. The chat not even moving. Chat, if you are a bot, let me know. Say I'm a fucking bot, plug, because this plug got the dark man in 4 minutes. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. If you are a bot, own up to that shit right now. If you are not a bot, let us know that you're not a bot, man. We finna get all the bots come to the damn front, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out.
Of truth.
Penny, you said what name was dropped? Representative Thomas Massey named one of the billionaires in Epstein's black book, John Paulson. His name has been floated around, but this is the first time somebody's just went on national news and called him out about it. Says Paulson isn't just some rich guy. He's a major GOP donor, pumping money into the Republican Party, Speaker of the House, and Trump's campaign. So that is who was ousted today. They said that they will be dropping more names, allegedly,
that have to be exposed, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to put it forward. This has just happened. He was accused by several women of sexual assault and rape, and he tries to get away with it by shifting a bogus claim against Israel and against me. Eventually truth wins, and it will win out here too.
Prime Minister, you've seen, obviously you've been involved in it. You run the country in Israel, and there's been journalists that have been killed. People are making claims that journalists aren't allowed into Gaza to report. Obviously, if anybody's paying attention to the news, there have been accusations that some of these journalists have been a part of Hamas. The more recent incident at the hospital where there's a room of journalists that was targeted, can you explain that scenario? Because I heard that there was more to the situation than just the bombing of an isolated location at the hospital. There was actually terrorists there. Are terrorists operating out of these hospitals, or was this a accident, a misfire? Can you explain what happened?
Now, that was a softball question. You ain't have to do all that explaining, Officer Tatum. Now I understand this probably is the biggest interview of his life. This is a really big interview, but that was a damn softball question. You got the wording it out. You gave him too many damn outs. You gave him like 4 or 5 outs in one question, bro.
Scenario, because I heard that there was more to the situation than just the bombing of an isolated location at the hospital. There was actually terrorists there. Are terrorists operating out of these hospitals, or was this a accident, a misfire? Can you explain what happened at the hospital?
4 different outs.
First, a general understanding, and then the specific case. Hamas uses hospitals, mosques, schools as command posts. Okay, they use it because they don't care about the civilian population. We ask people to leave, but we have to we have to also win the war. So we ask people to leave. And then we have to take on these things. And what do you think we find there? We find in hospitals, we find weapons, military communications, we find underground tunnels. In fact, in the largest hospital, Shifa Hospital, we found a nexus of all these terror tunnels right under the hospital. So we found hospitals to be basically the opposite of hospitals. They were terrorist command posts, which we take out after asking the population to leave. In this particular case, we had a camera, a surveillance camera, in a hospital that was giving the location of our troops to the Hamas. So it was basically used, that camera on the hospital was used to target our own soldiers. And the order was given, take out the camera. Fortunately,
The order was given to take out the camera. So is he saying that they bombed this hospital, right, to take out a camera, which is to protect their soldiers? I just say, man, wow, they were bombing the hospital to take out a camera. Sounds crazy. I understand the importance when you break it down. He said they were targeting his soldiers through this camera. The camera has to go. Bombing the whole hospital to get that camera up out of there. Yeah, just the sound of it, just even saying that sounds crazy. I mean, I get it, but damn.
The way that they took out the camera was to use, they used too heavy ammunition. So that's what caused the killing of the journalists. Some of them were real journalists, and that's a tragedy. And some of them were not. And that's, many of them are not, by the way. Many of the people who are called journalists in Gaza are basically Hamas activists or Hamas sympathizers, but they're not real journalists. But anytime you have a journalist killed, it's a tragedy, and it's not an intended tragedy. It's not something that we do intentionally. I think that's another one of these lies. I don't know why Hamas
Jeremy said that's not what he said. All right, let's go back and listen to it. Zero said another expert. Who's the expert up there? Who's the expert? Netanyahu or Officer Tatum? Who's the expert, Zero? Because if you talking about me being the expert, I'm an expert of certain shit, you know what I'm saying? Shit like smelling good, looking good, asking where your baby mama at, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
Basically used that camera on the hospital was used to target our own soldiers. And the order was given, take out the camera. Fortunately, the way that they took out the camera was to use, they used too heavy ammunition. So that's what caused the killing of the journalists. Some of them were real journalists, and that's a tragedy. And some of them were not. And that's, many of them are not, by the way. Many of the people who are called journalists in Gaza are basically Hamas activists or Hamas sympathizers, but they're not real journalists. But anytime you have a journalist killed, it's a tragedy, and it's not an intended tragedy. It's not something that we do intentionally. I think that's another one of these lies. I don't know why Hamas is talking about journalism as though there's a free press in Gaza. I mean, you can't open your mouth. You speak against the regime.
See, this is what I don't get.
I mean, they execute you.
This is what I don't get. Some people in this world think everybody has to, you know what I'm saying, be an expert to give an opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's not how this shit work. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. You know, it's been a fundamental shift out here, you know. Do I know everything? Nah, chat. Y'all know that. That's why I open the call lines up to give everybody a voice over here. You know, call in, cuss me out, tell me I don't know shit, but state your opinion. You know what I'm saying? But you got people out here like, let's just get back into the clip.
So to speak of press freedom vis-a-vis Hamas is ridiculous. Hamas uses civilians as human shields, and they use journalists also as human shields. So obviously that's not our policy. As far as letting people come into Gaza, we do it on a careful basis because it's a war zone and people can get killed. That's precisely what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid the situation because the example of the hospital tells you the risk that we're trying to reduce. We don't want real journalists to be killed. We don't want civilians to be killed. And so we're trying to clear the battle zones before we let a flurry of journalists in. But we let journalists come in on a selective basis. And by the way, some of them are not sympathizers, and they can see the truth for themselves, and they do.
And I want to get to two more things, Prime Minister, and thank you for your time, because I know that obviously that you guys are going through something right now, even in Israel. I want to touch on two things. The latter part of what I want to touch on is what is the protocol to hold those accountable when accidents do happen, meaning that accidents happen, civilians die. How do you hold your individuals accountable in the military, IDF personnel? But before that, I want to speak about another incident that occurred. So in the feed zones, where obviously Israel is feeding Gazans during the wartime, there's accusations that IDF soldiers are shooting and killing indiscriminately people at the feed zones. The UN, I think, reported that there was 1,300 people that have been killed by IDF soldiers. It was reported that there was an IDF soldier that made mention, allegedly, that he had orders that to shoot any of the civilians, whether they were combatants or not, that they could have free reign to shoot these civilians, and that's why civilians have been shot. Now, obviously, I don't see the verification process in that. I don't know if they actually verified thoroughly if this IDF soldier actually said what he said. But with that being out there, what is your response to people that are saying that IDF is killing people as they go to the places that they are supposed to be served food?
That's false. First of all, since the beginning of the war, I said we have to let in humanitarian aid because we have no quarrel with the civilian population, although I have to say many civilians joined the October 7th massacre and came and hacked our children, horrible things that happened. But in general, you do everything you can to avoid civilian casualties. You don't want to, a 3-year-old child is not a terrorist, obviously. So I said, listen, we got to put in the humanitarian aid, and we did. And but a few months ago, something happened. Hamas was was looting the food trucks.
He really didn't deny it. He really didn't deny it though. He just kind of, you know what I'm saying? He kind of deflected the question and got to talking about some other shit. Like, he really didn't deny it. It's crazy. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Lala, thank you for the flowers, Lala. Thank you for the jewels, Lala.
Point.
Get Lala some flames on them jewels, chat.
The food, they took the lion's share for themselves, and the remainder they sold at exorbitant prices to the Gazan population. So they were actually stealing food from their own people. And so we thought, hey, we got to stop this. So we stopped the food trucks and then made our own distribution points that would go around the Hamas terrorists and give the food directly to the people. What happened was that Hamas interdicted that too. And they started firing at our people, and our people fired in response, and that's how civilians got killed. They fired at our people in the distribution points, which were, by the way, manned by Americans. And they were in danger of loss of life because...
Thank you for the super chat, Lala. Lala asked everybody to hit the like button. I know you guys are watching on your phone because it's Thursday night. You know, it's almost coming up on midnight. You know, it's 11 down here in the deep, dirty South. You got to go, you know, get up tomorrow, get your day started. So I know you laid back in that bed right now looking at that phone. Don't drop it on your forehead. Do not drop that phone on your forehead. But take that index finger and tap the phones twice for me. Just tap the phone twice for me and we'll call it even, man. Thank you, Lala, for your continued support.
Because of these Hamas attacks. So in this exchange of gunfire, civilians died, but if Hamas hadn't done this, nobody would have died. We were there to give food. Since that, went awry, I decided, all right, we'll continue trying to distribute food through these separate American-run locations, but I'm going to let the food trucks in anyway, and I know Hamas is going to steal the bulk of it, but I want food to reach the population. So here's what happened. Food prices plummeted. Because now there's, it's a market force. If you have a lot, even though quite a bit of it is stolen, the prices go down, people have food, and in order to continue the lie, they brought in, I don't know if you saw these pictures, Brandon, of these 3 children. One in the cover of the New York Times, looks like a starved baby. It tears your heart out. The mother is not emaciated, but the child is. Turns out he has cerebral palsy. That is, it's congenital. The other 2 children, which I think 2 of them we took out to be treated, also have congenital diseases that make them emaciated. And there's a very simple thing. I mean, a lot of this is staged. There was deprivation, but there was no starvation policy. And the only ones who were deliberately starved were hostages. This picture of one of our hostages, totally emaciated, and you see the arm of his Hamas captor, the guard who's keeping him, torturing him, corpulent. I think Ambassador Huckabee, America's ambassador to Israel, he said that...
There go Huckabee. He talking about Huckabee now, Chad. I just asked. I want to see Netanyahu sit down with Huckabee. I think Huckabee might ask Netanyahu the real shit. Some parts of me be like, y'all, he might throw him some live questions, but I think Huckabee might ask Netanyahu that real shit. Huckabee might just do it.
The only diet that these Hamas should go on is an Ozempic diet because they're so fat, So that's really, again, this reversal of truth that goes on. Yes, there was deprivation of food because of Hamas interdiction of the food trucks. Yes, there were incidents because of Hamas firing at the distribution points that we set up. And I have to tell you, Israel has the most moral army and also the most adjudicated army because we don't allow, any of these incidents to go uninvestigated. We investigate them. There's an independent investigation. That's it. In the army. There's an independent investigation above the army, if it's necessary, in our judiciary, which that corrupt prosecutor, before he had to escape the sexual assault charges, he said Israel has not only the means inside the army to check malfeasance, but above the army. And I stand with our soldiers. I mean, they're the most moral soldiers in the world, none more moral, I could say. And just as America investigates its own forces when necessary, so does Israel.
And Prime Minister, I find it interesting that the public or people in the media don't get this, what you're saying. It's clear as the noonday sun to me some of the things that you've alluded to. There's an accusation of a genocide that's occurring. And I'm not sure if people don't understand what a genocide is, but people are saying that Israel is committing a genocide against Gazans, against Palestinians in the West Bank, although their population numbers have grown. Although I've never seen a genocide performed where you feed the people who you're trying to genocide and give them leaflets and notification to exit. And I've never seen these things. So I'm shocked that the media continues to cover it this way. How do you and the PR of Israel improve to this point where the information that's true can be disseminated properly? Because I just don't understand how the Palestinians and the, not just Palestinians, but the Hamas, some of the news outlets are just pitching lies every day. Emaciated children with no rebuttal. They're lying about a genocide. They're showing all these videos. That this is why I wanted to do this interview and get it out there, because I have not seen a legitimate video of some of the starvation claims. Not one of the bombs and any of those things. So how does Israel help themselves or help you guys with PR to get the truth out instead of a bunch of lies?
Well, listen, we've been fighting a seven-front war against Iran, a murderous regime that calls for our destruction, with all these proxies who call for our destruction, who massacred our men, beheaded our people, raped our women, and then murdered them. Horrible. Burnt babies alive and took hundreds of hostages, innocent people, grandmothers, grandchildren, Holocaust survivors. And one of the things that I've been very active in is to get our hostages out. We got 207 out of 255. We intend to get them all out. But yeah, they lie all the time. So how do you combat the tsunami of lies? That's the eighth front. There's a seven front war against Iran, Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, and so on, and we're winning that war. But the war of information, you're quite right to point out, that's a tougher battle. It's a tougher battle because there are now these.
Y'all hear what he called it? The war of information. The war of information. That's where the propaganda comes in. I see a lot of y'all out here saying shield, and it's just crazy that, like, at this time he's calling this shit the war of,
The propensity to accept the Hamas lies, its statistics, its fake pictures, its the whole fake scenarios, that's maybe built into most of the Western press. Not all of it, but most of it. But there's another thing. There's the abuse of the social media. You've got TikTok, you've got other social media that have algorithms in there, and you have paid bots that push responses that make people feel, oh, well, everybody's against Israel. And so you put in this massive effort, by the way, much advanced by countries that are not friendly to Israel. It's Qatar, China, and others. They have these social influence campaigns that besmirch Israel. I'm sorry to say, it's the truth. And they appeal to the American public in particular. And you'd have someone saying, listen, I'm responding to one of these assertions, okay? And he's saying, I'm a resident of Texas. I'm a longtime supporter of Israel. But what I see now, I can't take this, all the horrible stuff that they're doing. And this comes in bushels, And it turns out this Texan is some guy in a basement in Pakistan, and that's a campaign that brainwashes people. And I think that's a reality that we face. You ask me what's the fastest way to end this propaganda? It's to end the war as quickly as possible. And that's what I'm trying to do. We've dismantled most of the terror axis. We still have, two strongholds of Hamas in Gaza. I think the future of Gaza, the future of the Gazans who are now fighting Hamas, that we've changed the situation. There are Gazans who are fighting Hamas, and they say, to the media, the war, we want to have a free Gaza, a Gaza free from Hamas, free from their tyranny, free from the horrible terror that they impose not only on us, on the civilian Israelis, but also on us, Gazans, who disagree with Hamas. So that's happening more and more. And yes, I think we have to win this. First of all, win the war on the ground. Then you have a shot at winning the information war. but it's a long struggle. I don't want to in any way minimize it. But eventually, truth, a tougher job than lies. Lies circle the earth 100 times before a glimmer of truth can emerge, but ultimately it does. And I believe in this. We have truth on our side, and our compass is courage. And we have both. And we'll fight, and we'll win on that front too.
And Prime Minister, and this is just my personal opinion, I think there's a deeper connection America and Israel. It's deeper than just an ally. It's deeper than just federal funding, taxpayer dollar that we spend and send to Israel, although we get probably 75% of that back with the agreement that we have. It's bigger than that. I think it's spiritual. I literally know for a fact I'm going to get killed on social media for doing this interview.
You're going to be killed by bots from Pakistan.
Right.
That's what
exactly.
That's what we're going to see.
Because the interesting thing is that it's funny that I get a lot of negative comments, but I get a lot of followers at the same time. So it seems that the negative comments don't reflect how people are actually receiving.
No, Officer Tatum, that's not how it works. 60% of your followers are haters. See, I'm a small channel, but even I know this. 60% of the people that subscribe to me are haters. 60% of the people that come through here are haters because I have analytics. Mr. Tatum, you got analytics too. You know the people who watch, and I have about 500,000 or 600,000 people that come in here every month. They've been in here for 6 months or more. I have analytics. It tells me that you've been watching for 6 months or more. Still haven't subscribed. It's okay. It just be a lot of haters, you know what I'm saying? And then when they do subscribe, they just subscribing so they can make sure to come in there and hate on your ass. Wait for you to slip up, Mr. Officer Tatum. I understand that. I know you understand that. I know you understand that, man. Let me go back to what he was saying. Let's go back to what he was saying. Shit is crazy.
Literally know for a fact I'm going to get killed on social media for doing this interview. And this is just my personal opinion. I think there's a deeper connection America and Israel. It's deeper than just an ally. It's deeper than just federal funding, taxpayer dollar that we spend and send to Israel, although we get probably 75% of that back with the agreement that we have. It's bigger than that. I think it's spiritual. I literally know for a fact I'm going to get killed on social media for doing this interview.
You're going to be killed by bots from Pakistan.
Right.
That's what
exactly.
That's what we're going to see.
Because the interesting thing is that it's funny that I get a lot of negative comments, but I get a lot of followers at the same time. So it seems that the negative comments don't reflect how people are actually receiving the information, which lines up to the bot scenario.
I'm not hating on Officer Tatum. I hate on a lot of people, chat, but I'm not hating on Officer Tatum. I'm just saying he knows how the analytics work. Like, let's be real here. You ain't got no haters, you not popping. Isn't that a rule of thumb? If you ain't got no haters, you not popping. You know why you getting social media following, you getting haters. Shit, it works that way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hating on the man. I'm just stating the facts. Shit, he got analytics. We got analytics. We know what's going on, man. A lot of these people watching in the bushes, and a lot of people do come in here every single night just to fucking hate on me. I don't block them, or I go unblock them at the end of every week. Matter of fact, I'm finna go unblock people right now. But I do hate on a lot of people. I'm not gonna say I don't. Let's just put that the fuck out there. I do hate on a lot of people. But Officer Tatum's just not one of them. Not right now.
But I think it's deeper, Minister. I think that there's a spiritual, a godly connection between the two countries. And I'm a big advocate.
Good night, Battle Cat.
And for us Americans to do whatever we can to allow Israel to be safe. What is your thoughts on this? Because you're coming from a position as the Prime Minister. Do you think it's a spiritual connection, or it's just business at the end of the day?
No. I've spoken not only to so many Americans over the years who say that they actually say, in a peculiar way, they say what the radical terrorist Islamists are saying. The radical terrorist Islamists are saying, we hate death to America, death to Israel. They start with America, then they go to Israel. And they say, and why do they say death to Israel? Because we stand in their way to conquer the Middle East, subjugate all the Muslims who don't agree with them, kill all the Christians and Jews, and then proceed to Europe and from there to America. They have these insane ideas, these insane ideology. And Israel stands in their way. And what they say that Israel is the small Satan, is the big Satan. We just are closer to them. So they want to kill us, but eventually they want to kill you. Why? Because we stand for a different idea. We stand for the idea of liberty. We stand for the idea of the sacredness of individual life and the rights of individual. And I've shared that so often with President Trump. He's been just remarkable in supporting Israel through thick and thin. He joined us in in this precision attack on Iran's nuclear facility, which ultimately is aimed at America. And he's just been terrific. But I find this echoing among many, many Americans who've not been diverted with the false propaganda against Israel. Remember that I spoke in the American Congress 4 times. It's a great honor. When I stand at that podium in a joint session of Congress and I look at the wall and they quote Moses, they quote Moses who brought liberty, took us out from bondage in Egypt, or brought the idea of freedom to all humanity. And America was built as the city on the hill. That's the city on the hill, the original city on the hill is Jerusalem, where I'm talking to you from. And America was built on these ideas, these biblical ideals that we share. And this is anathema to our radical Islamist enemies. So a lot of Americans agree when the Islamists say they're just like America. We are you and you are us. And in many ways, in the most fundamental ways of civilization,
What to do, Javier?
They're absolutely right on that. And many Americans feel that. But the battle that we're fighting right now is not merely our battle.
Hey, let's get the 200 likes right quick, chat. Let's get the 200 likes right quick. I just opened up the phone lines. We're coming up on the end of this interview. It's about 5 minutes or so left on this interview. So I just opened up the phone lines. But let's get to 200 likes right quick. Let's get to 200 likes right quick.
And, we don't ask for American boots on the ground. We don't ask for America, this whole idea that we're going to draw America into a third world war. That's what they said before our successful campaign against Iran. That's hokum. It's nonsense. In fact, the opposite is true. We're creating a possibility of peace, a possibility of expanding the circle of peace that President Trump and I brought with the Abraham Accords with 4 Arab states who made peace simultaneously with Israel. And if we win this war against the terrorists, which we will, the avenue for peace will increase. The stronger Israel gets, we can make peace with our neighbors. And the stronger we are depends a lot on the cooperation and friendship and alliance that we have with the greatest democracy of them all, the United States. So I agree with you. Many, many Americans understand that. Some have been diverted by this rash propaganda, but we'll win the war. We'll also win the peace, and we'll win their hearts again.
Prime Minister Netanyahu, I want to give you one more question. And if you had an opportunity, right, which this is a presented opportunity, to speak to the world, I wish that everybody in the world was actually watching this. I know we'll have a lot of people watching it, but if you could speak to everybody in the world to give them one centralized message of, your thoughts, your direction for Israel, your direction for this war, what would that statement be to the world?
Well, start with this war. This war could be over tomorrow. You need 5 things. The first is for Hamas to lay down its arms and release. The second is to release all the remaining hostages. The third is to demilitarize Gaza. That's different from laying down their arms, because demilitarization means you can't smuggle arms into Gaza and you can't manufacture weapons in Gaza itself. The fourth thing is to have Israel overriding security control over Gaza to prevent the resurgence of terrorism. And the fifth is to create a transitional authority in Gaza that is run by people, Palestinians and others, who are not teaching their children that they have to annihilate Israel, kill every Jew, and practice terrorism. These are the 5 things that I think can create a different future for Gaza, a different future for Israel, a different future.
So he did say they still want to govern Gaza. That's what he said? That's what he said. Hold on. Let me not misquote him.
to give them one centralized message of, your thoughts, your direction for Israel, your direction for this war. What would that statement be to the world?
Well, start with this war. This war could be over tomorrow. You need 5 things. The first is for Hamas to lay down its arms and release. The second is to release all the remaining hostages. The third is to demilitarize Gaza. That's different from laying down their arms, because demilitarization means you can't smuggle arms into Gaza and you can't manufacture arms, weapons in Gaza itself. The fourth thing is to have Israel overriding security control over Gaza to prevent the resurgence of terrorism. And the fifth is to create a transitional authority in Gaza that
overriding security control. Overriding security control.
is run by people, Palestinians and others, who are not teaching their children that they have to annihilate Israel, kill every Jew, and practice terrorism. These are the 5 things that I think can create a different future for Gaza, a different future for Israel, a different future for the Middle East. This is part of this wider battle that I talked about, the battle between civilization and barbarism, between freedom and tyranny. And I think many in the leaders in the West actually understand this. Tell me that,
That's how that shit go, though, Chad. I mean, once you lose a war, the people that come in there, you know what I'm saying, and they set up shop, basically. So he's saying that after this war is over, if they win, they're going to go in there and set up shop, override security. That's what goes on, man. He's saying that they can't let them get arms again, cannot let this happen again. So he wants de-weaponization, demilitarization, return of the hostages, and override security.
Brandon, they call me up and they say, we know that you're doing the right thing. I think the Chancellor of Germany said it publicly. He said, you're doing the work that we should do to protect ourselves, like preventing Iran from developing ballistic missiles that could reach Germany or could reach Washington or could reach New York, whatever. We're doing that. But are under the pressure of the false media reports. They're under pressure by Islamist minorities that are very violent and very vocal in their own countries. And I say, look, that's not going to, that's not going to change us. I think it's very important that people like you have the guts, the courage, the integrity to get the truth out. And I think it's very important that we win, not only for us, and for the future of the world. Because if the terrorists win, one axis rebuilds itself, and they build the weapons of mass death and the means to reach every city in the United States, every city in the West, then we have a very somber future in front of us. But it won't happen because we're here fighting for all of us, and we'll win.
Well, I want to say God bless you.
Man, y'all funny as hell talking about he looked so skinny, man. Officer Tatum just a little, swole up, you know what I'm saying? Officer Tatum a little swole. That's why Netanyahu looking small, man. Netanyahu looking small because Officer Tatum a little swole, you know what I'm saying?
To accept, press 1.
Man, see, I don't even want to accept your call because you didn't say who you are. What's your name, caller? Yeah, we ain't got time to be playing. When y'all call in, you gotta state your name and where you calling from. State your name and where you calling from. But yeah, y'all saying that Netanyahu looks skinny, man. I think it's just Officer Tatum up there looking hulked up, man. He over there looking hulked up, big as hell, man. And Netanyahu just, a little small. But I do got the phone lines open if anybody wants to call before we move on to the next topic. If anybody wants to call before we move on to the next topic, I do have the phone lines open. What's up, Deanna? What's up, Brian? What's up, Benji? Nah, you tripping. But yeah, my thoughts and opinions on the interview. The interview was a pretty decent interview. It was a lot of softball questions.
My name is Dorsey.
It was a lot of softball questions, but what I took most from this interview was Netanyahu did admit to bombing the church. Netanyahu did lay out a plan that he wants to happen for the war to end, which I don't think I don't know if it's close or not. And Officer Tatum chose his damn side in front of the world. We just seen Officer Tatum double, triple, and quadruple down on taking his side. So I expect to see a lot going on. We'll probably see Officer Tatum on Pierce Morgan sometime in the coming week or something, man. Probably going back and forth with a Candace Owens. And I'm here for it. Let's do it. What's up, Dorsey?
What's going on, man? I just wanted to check in and so forth and do the security check with the name and so forth, show them how it's done. You know, don't be calling in with the bullshit, okay?
Nah, I appreciate you, man. How you feeling about this interview?
I mean, it's no big surprise. Ain't no big deviation. But as far as I'm concerned, them hostages is dead, bro. Come on now. It's been all this while. They damn near leveled the whole place. So if the hostages was hiding somewhere, man, they probably been buried alive or somewhere, man. He's just using that as he know them people dead. He just using that as an excuse to keep on fighting.
Okay. The caller says, "Are you really riding?" I mean, not the caller. The chat says, "Are you really riding the fence on genocide?"
Check this out, man. When it was genocide against us, y'all niggas was riding the fence. Why can't I ride the fence? First of all, this is my stand. You don't shoot babies in the face with AK-47. Now, if they decided they wanted to revolt or get revenge on, they could have spared the children. But they didn't. They showed no mercy.
Hold on, Dorsey. My bad. Traveler, 34.05. You said can't listen if you're going to keep doing the lip smacking. I don't know if you talking to me or you talking to Dorsey, but I'm going to tell you like this. Trevlar 343.05. You left those little ass flip-flops, man, the thong flip-flops, you left them motherfuckers by the door. So if you can't listen to this and you want to leave, pick up those blue and yellow thong flip-flops by the door and get the hell out, man. Straight up. Blaine, you said this garbage, this whole channel is garbage. I'm out of here. Blaine, guess what? I will escort you the fuck up out of here, Blaine. And the next time you come back on another account. And yes, we gonna keep talking about you, Blaine. You know why? Because I know that we live rent-free in your fucking head, Blaine. You ain't never been escorted out of the club. You just got escorted out that motherfucker today, Blaine. Go ahead, Dorsey.
Ain't taking no prisoners tonight, huh?
Nah, man, we ain't bullshitting tonight.
Hey, you know they always come with the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand that you standing.
Hold on, Dorsey. Just mute up for a second. This the part of the show where I have fun. Nah, don't block nobody, la. I'm having fun. Anna Rosa Hess, full of that damn mess, talking about shut up. Hey, Anna Rosa, you no longer have a voice over here. You have been voted off the damn island. Oh, I couldn't even vote you off. La down here. La, let me do my own work. Let me do my own work right now, la. Anybody else? Any more takers, man? I promise you, I'm going to FedEx in the morning. I will pack all y'all up tonight. I'll pack all y'all up tonight. I'm going to go unblock everybody anyway tomorrow, but I'll pack all y'all ass up tonight, man. Let's see how many accounts y'all got in here tonight. Let's have fun. I ain't had fun. I took a nap today, Chad. I'm rested. Let's have fun.
He got the power in him now, baby. He man, baby.
Okay, that cool. All right, Dorsey, go ahead.
So like I was saying, man, Israel is just gonna do what they gonna do. They taking the book out of Putin. You know, come to the table, arbitrary, then make demands that they know ain't gonna be met, then pretend like they the victim and so forth to justify genocide. But once again, like I said, I really don't side with the Palestinians because of the way they treated black people. And people know what the history of it. See, people like to turn a blind eye on what they do to us, and then we talking about, oh, we the victim. Well, you know, what goes around come around, right? Okay. So once again, like I reiterate, I was in Beirut, Lebanon, which is the northern part of Israel, and I know how y'all treat people. You know, when you get dogged out, hey, well, I mean, hey, it's just going on. You getting the hand you're getting dealt with. Now, if you believe in God and you say, hey, God wouldn't justify it, well, God justified a lot of genocide in the Bible. So this is just another page in the history book. Again, like I said, the Palestinians, they shouldn't have did what the fuck they did. Maybe God would have showed mercy on them. But since they didn't show no mercy on them babies, nah, you don't get my sympathy. You know, that's evil, that's wicked. From so, other than that, I mean, they always wanted that beachfront property anyway. Plus, Gaza got them oil deposits. Did you know that?
I heard it. Yeah. We spoke about it a few times over here, and that pipeline, the natural gas.
So that's always going to be the underlying, factor of why they continue in this war. Because they like, hey, once we get these facilities set up, you know, it might take them about, 5-10 years to get the infrastructure all laid down. They don't need nobody coming over there sabotaging what they're doing. Where I'm coming from? And this is an investment as far as Israel. Because they want to be a powerhouse too. You know, they the only country, think about it. Nobody else around them got access to oil except them. Right?
Thank you, Gito, for the jewels. I had to reset the chat. Somehow my chat wasn't moving. I couldn't see y'all, man. Thank you, Gito. Get Gito some flames for that, man. Double tap the screen, shut a live out. Dorsey, they said, what is you talking about, man? Go ahead.
I'm talking about, I talk about shit you don't know nothing about. That's why you don't know what I'm talking about. You little liberals or whatever the fuck you is, you ain't never did shit. You ain't never put your neck on the line. Then you just jump on the bandwagon from whatever little movement, free the dogs, free the cats, whatever the fuck y'all on. Y'all unrealistic. I mean, that's what pissed me off about you liberal Americans. You don't get concerned about shit until they make a motherfucking meme out of it and shit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. The liberals gotta make a damn decision because they trying to ban weapons, guns from the trans people, man. They trying to ban the guns from the trans people. So the liberals finna have to make a decision.
Man, give them people them guns. Give people them guns. We can't play playtime. You see what I'm saying? You can't, now y'all want to play like who the Second Amendment or who the First Amendment apply to. Check this out. You can't play no favors, man. It's the Constitution. Everybody got a right to bear arms.
That's what I said at the beginning of the show. I don't like roll when they get to talking about rolling back shit like that, man. I get to looking around. I get to scratching my head.
Yeah, because they hypocritical, bro. They hypocrites. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so you know that time when remember when the dude was on the what? That was.
Hold on, Dorsey. I got another caller. Hold on, Dorsey. Call me back.
Okay.
All right. Call me back, Dorsey. I got two people calling. Let's see. What's going on, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Israel. I'm calling from Brooklyn. How are you?
What's going on, Israel from Brooklyn, man? How you feeling about tonight's topics?
Saw you guys talking about Israel. I wanted to chat.
Okay, let's go ahead. How you feel? We watched the Netanyahu Officer Tatum interview.
What you think about it?
I felt like there were some softball questions in there. He gave Netanyahu a lot of outs, but he did ask some tough questions in a softball-like manner. I feel like Netanyahu admitted to bombing the church, and he laid out what his plans are to end the war, what he needs to come to fruition to end the war. So I felt like it was pretty informative. I felt like Officer Tatum put his neck out on the line. He chose his side, and I expect to see him probably on Piers Morgan arguing with Candace Owens sometime in the coming weeks.
Yeah, that'd be interesting if they argue. my view on it is just like, why do people care all of a sudden? You know, like Christians are dying everywhere, but no one cares. How come they only care when it's Israel for some reason?
Okay, expound on that.
I don't know the exact numbers, but let's look at it. Nigeria, Sudan, not just Christians, but like there have been so many wars in the past 20 years that people don't talk about. I got Jewish heritage, so I'm a little bit sensitive. Maybe I'm biased, but I'm just curious about that. How come people only
I think
talk
it's
about
more. I think it's more of the connotation of control. I think it's more of they're not saying that these other countries have a sort of power or a hand over America, and I think that's the key factor and the key difference in the conversations that I've heard. It's more of the control.
You're saying it's not that they don't care about the hundreds of thousands of
No,
people.
incoherently, I don't think they care about. And let's be real, as Americans, caring is subjective to certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like Dorsey was speaking before, certain groups get behind certain things that they want to get behind. So caring is kind of subjective. I feel like it's a global thing, but in America it's more prevalent because we speak our minds. Like we say what we care about and what we don't care about. But yeah, no, I don't think they care about those people in Africa. No. And I don't think if it wasn't for the connotation of Israel having a hand over America, I don't think they would care about what's going on over there.
Right. Do you think Israel controls America? That's interesting.
Let's see. I would say from the conversations that I had, they make a really good argument for it. I'm not in those rooms, so I can't say, but they make a damn good argument for it.
Right. I just think that'd be interesting, though. They're such a small country. I feel like we're stronger than them. No, I mean, I don't think Trump is a coward. I don't think America is a country that would listen to some small Middle Eastern country. No.
Correct. So with this Israel situation, I'm an open platform, so I haven't done all of the history. Like Dorsey just said, he's been to northern Israel and Lebanon. We have other callers that have been over there. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I haven't left America, so I'm working on limited knowledge on this situation. But the conversations that we've heard and we've had over the last several months, they make a really good argument for it. If any country was to have influence over America, I mean, a few years ago they were saying it was Russia. You know what I'm saying? Now it's Israel. I mean, we go through these conversations. I feel like it's Israel's turn, and they're doing the digging and making a really good argument for it.
All right, I appreciate your channel. I'm gonna continue to listen, and maybe I'll be swayed that way.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you, man.
Does Israel control America, chat? Let's see. You said I've done all the research. Yeah, so I'm saying it's clearly you don't know. Call in, Lizzie Boo. Thank you, Mango G, for the 40. I don't know what kind of currency that is, Mango G, but I appreciate you for the super chat. Thank you, Mango G, for the super chat. The phone lines are open. Let me call this caller back too. See, chat, I can say that I've watched other channels talk about it, but when I say doing the research, I haven't been to these countries. I haven't experienced the racism that they're talking about. I haven't cracked open the books and done the research on if these people are actually, you know what I'm saying, from the, I haven't done the research and say, oh, if these people are actually from their chat. Like, and I'm honest enough to tell y'all, like, hey, look, I'm working off of the conversations that we've had. I'm working off some kind of secondhand information. When I do try to pull shit up, you know what I'm saying, I'm just going to be real with y'all. It'll get them making me verify if I'm a human and some more shit. That's the kind of shit I deal with. Y'all remember when they hacked my StreamYard over here? Like, come on, let's be real, chat. But that's why I open up this call lines for the conversations to be had. I do try to do my research, but no, I haven't walked into a damn Books-A-Million and grabbed me a book about the history of this. I haven't, you know. And a lot of people who do speak on this are very opinionated. Like when we hear Candace talk about it, she has skin in the game. She's opinionated. When we hear Nick Fuentes talk about it, he has skin in the game. He's opinionated. When we hear Officer Tatum, his side, he got skin in the game. He's opinionated. So for me, I haven't had enough time to just sit down and give an unbiased opinion. But is there influence? Yes, there's influence. Does Israel control America? I gotta, you know what I'm saying? That's why I gotta, you know, crack open some books and shit, to be honest. But there is influence for sure. Let me open up the phone lines. You said I'm done, brother. To verify you're a human, good luck. I don't know what you mean, JNO78. You don't see this. You don't see me over here moving around. Like, do you not think I'm human? What you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna dance or nothing. Like, do you want me to take a sip of my beverage? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll take a drink. Cheers, my boy. Damn. So if nobody's gonna call in, I'm gonna somebody get Boyd up out of here, man. Get dude up out of here, man. We ain't gonna play with him. Nobody's gonna call in, then I'm gonna move on to the next topic, man. We got a couple other topics I was gonna cover before we get up out of here. Here we go. We got a couple more topics, man. Nobody want to call in on this shit, though. Oh, let me call Dorsey back. That's what I was going to do. See if Dorsey busy. Yeah, it's about time for him to grab his. Oh, you said you finna call Top Cat? All right. Dorsey might be in there making a damn sandwich or something, man. Go ahead, call in, Top Cat. Yeah, Lala made him grab his damn flip-flops, man. He finna get the hell up out of here, man. He got them damn flip-flops in here, them thong flip-flops he walked in here with, man. Coming in here calling me a stud. The hell is wrong with you, man? Nick says APAC Trilateral Commission. Listen, Chad. I'm gonna pull this other clip up while we waiting on Top Cat to call in, man. I'm gonna pull this other clip up while we waiting on Top Cat. Hold on. Why the hell is it not playing? Hold on, Chad. Why the hell is this not playing? Okay, it's playing.
Running $2 million of.
It's playing right here, but it's not playing down here. Alright, what's this guy's name? Tom Massey. Hold on. Let me pull up Tom Massey talking about the Epstein today. chat. My gimbal keep dying. Hold on.
Policy.
All right, here we go right here. I can't find that clip right here, but I can find this.
Care most the policy, the politics, but it's really bad for it. They should just vote and put in the house.
Bro, it's no way they trying to sabotage the stream, Chad. What the hell is going on? Chad, what? Chad, this is crazy. Why they keep trying to sabotage it?
Care about the policy, not the politics.
Bro, it's no way. Maybe that's the reason it only got 2,000 views, bro. Is that what he had on? He had on it. Oh, yeah, here we go.
The Oversight Committee released some 30,000 pages of Epstein-related materials from the U.S. Justice Department last night, but
Hold on, Chad.
Authors of the petition that the president.
All right, Chad. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Y'all give me 1 second, Chad. Hold on, man. I hate when this shit happens. Shit's crazy, Chad. They always sabotage this, man. Crazy, Chad.
Oh, let me give you the name of one of the billionaires who's running $2 million of ads in my district. Let me give you the name of one of the billionaires who's running $2 million of ads in my district since I started this effort. His name is John Paulson. He's a hedge fund manager and
Are we back live, chat? Press 1 if I'm back live, chat. I can't see the chat.
Let me give you the name of one of the billionaires who's running $2 million of ads in my district since I started this effort. His name is John Paulson. He's a hedge fund manager and a major donor to the Republican Party, a major donor to the Speaker of the House, a major donor to the president's campaign, and he's in Epstein's black book. Now that's public, but that's indicative of the types of people who may be implicated or just embarrassed by a complete release of these files.
All right, man, am I back live? All right.
Your message for
Hello?
What it do, Top Cat? Hey, everybody double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. You know how every time we have a good episode, they want to fuck up my audio. I don't know why they do that to me all the time, man. But look, chat, we are currently, hold on, chat. 5 subscribers away from 31,300 subscribers. Man, double tap the screen, shut a live out, man. Can we get 31,300 subscribers, chat? Yay or nay? Can we get 5 more subscribers in here to hit 31,300, chat? Is this my second stream of the day? Back to back. I don't deserve 5 subscribers. All right, now I'm playing. What's up, Top Cat?
Hey, what's going on, man? Sorry I hit you a little late, man. I was headed to the lake and trying to get here, man. I thought Dorsey had it for me until I got here, but I see he wasn't on there still.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nah, Dorsey did call back, but my audio was messed up.
Yeah, so I got here first. Oh, yeah, what I was going to say, I was on that Netanyahu thing, so I was trying to give up a little info on that to say the questions he was asking. Like how he was saying, we're here to win the hearts of the people and all that. He's here to win your soul.
Recording.
When he said when they start comparing Christians and Jews together, you got to look at the agenda.
For delivery options, press 4. To send a fax, press.
Top Cat.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I had to hang up on the other end. The other end was still getting a voice message. Sean, you said, where did I go, Sean? I had to cam down to get my live set back up. But I hear you, Top Cat. Go ahead.
So that Yahoo, when he's speaking what he's speaking, this is a propaganda move too, and he's not even lying about it. He's telling you that he thinks that everybody's lost to the propaganda because they fell out of his propaganda, fell out of these, the weapons of mass destruction, fell out of everybody is trying to kill Israel, fell out of the propaganda that they've been spending so forth. So when he speaks about proxies, he knows he's a proxy. I noticed something when I was hearing how, and I'm going to say it, the nigga call me a hater, I don't give a shit. That was some brown-nosing, snot-nosed, whimpering shit he was doing in that interview. I mean, stand there like a man, you know what I'm saying? You up there, oh, I'm with this, everybody knows, and all that. That was some real slug-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they said some things and done some things that people should be thinking about. There's a people called Beta Israel, or, the Ethiopian so-called Jews and different people that come back from America. Well, they were there. They started kicking all these people out. As soon as the war started or they got invaded, they let them stay and put all Beta Israel on the line of the war. So I didn't hear him speak on none of those situations or how they treat people. All he said was, when I go out there, I was out there and they were great to me. Of course they're going to be great to Uncle Ben when he come over there, you know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I mean? You're over there groveling at their feet. And then when he was speaking about what he was speaking about today, about the issues that they were talking about, why didn't he treat them like they treat everybody out here? So Muhammad Ali and all these different people that change their names, the first thing they say, well, Cassius Clay. They keep calling him Cassius Clay, Cassius Clay. That's not my name. That's not my name. Well, why didn't you give them the same energy that they give us? He changed his name too. Why are you sitting up there recognizing the name his mom didn't give him too? I just saw some different things to a point where I could see him groveling towards it. But Netanyahu's whole point when they're sitting up there talking about taking over anything or they're going to handle or secure anything like you were speaking on, like, okay, so we're going to secure the nation. No, you're trying to abolish a people. They're not even a nation. They're not being recognized as a nation. So when you take over Gaza and you sit up there and you say some Palestinians, that's like us being an American and say, okay, well, some Indians will be able to govern part of America too. When we take it over, we're going to listen to what everybody says, but we're going to recreate this whole nation. Those people were a people and there before you were there. They let them come there and start moving there in the late 1800s. Or the Zionist movement got their exact push. Those same certain Jewish groups that talk about those times don't speak on it like the people that came in 1948. So we see how he's changing things around and trying to put a secular movement on it, like, oh, Christmas and Jesus. Well, that's the biggest part that you have a problem between the two factions of their religion. So why are you bringing that up? It's all propaganda. You don't believe in Santa Claus, and I don't believe in half the stuff that they believe in out the Talmud. So why are you even bringing that up? He is trying to win the heart, but if we're stupid enough to understand it, it ain't your heart he's trying to win. He's trying to win your soul. because their whole point is them being the supreme people.
No, I think you kind of I got what you meant, but when he said Christmas, I don't think he was talking about Santa Claus. I think he was talking about Jesus.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, to me, they're the same in one, because that's not his name. Hamashiach has nothing to do with Christmas, but that's the blanket for myself.
Hold on, Top Cat. Willie said, "Oh no, not another blackity black channel." Well, don't worry about this blackity black channel, Willie, because we finna send your ass pack and come back on another account. This channel is for everybody, man. I don't care if you far left, far right, liberal, conservative, Marxist, fascist, or alien, male, female. I don't care if you NPC, a bot, like y'all say. We got bots, you know what I'm saying? If you a bot, let me know you a bot, you know what I'm saying? You got a voice over here. We taking all callers, man. But we just had to get Willie the hell up out of here, man. Willie just picked his flip-flops up and walked the hell up out of here, man. He gets no refreshments, no plain lays. He will not be participating in the rest of tonight's festivities. Go ahead, Top Cat.
And this is not a point of it being a racial thing on my end at all. I'm just going to tell the truth. When it comes down to where they're pushing to, their agenda is to take over that lane. You're saying that you're going to push somebody all the way to the ocean, you know, on the Gaza Strip. Now you have a point of where you're receiving all the things through shipping and receiving, and you took over the major part of their money situation and the oil delivery and all these different things with these ports that are out there. If everybody's looking at satirically what they're looking for, is that religion is always going to be the thing that pushes somebody into a point of colonialism. And when he's saying that we're sitting there directly with them, still following the seeds that America has planted. They're doing the same things. They're coming up with these excuses on why they should abolish the people that's there and then corral them and control them and secure them, rather than the point of giving them any sovereignty. So he never at that one point ever said that we're liberating. He just said some of the people helped us, and there's people in Gaza that's fighting against Hamas and all that. But when did you talk about giving them their sovereignty? Freedom. Any point of being considered as human people and a nation of their own, just like they were before World War II, like you guys were, until you jumped on their back.
He kind of alluded to it, but right after he said it, or right before he said it, he was talking about, you know, still having control. Like, we're going to let them have their own thing, but for security reasons, we're going to, you know, have control. It's kind of what America does.
They have no guns.
It's kind of what America does, right?
No guns, no missiles, no nothing. We're the only ones that's going to be militarized in the area. So we're going to demilitarize you guys and sit you in the Middle East, one of the most volatile places on this planet.
Nah, Anton, they do got free speech, man. This is a free speech platform. Just don't come in here with that fucking playing with me, man. You can come in here and say what you want, you know what I'm saying? But when you come at me, you know what I'm saying, you got to deal with the repercussions. Sometimes I troll back. Other times, I just ain't got time for that shit. Don't worry, Antoine. We'll unblock them tonight. Go ahead, Top Cat.
So on a different point on it, I'm just trying to express that don't be fooled. Don't let the cover be pulled over your head. Don't be dumb. And I don't care if you're yellow, black, orange, red, or green. It's a point of knowing the truth and looking for the truth. When you see the truth of what these people have done there and what they're talking about doing, and this is something I was discussing with you before, Plug. So he spoke, you know, I think that it happened after this, but he spoke on all that. Does everybody know that they took out the entire government head in Yemen? Did this in the last 4 days. They blew up and took out their president. They took out all their top boards. Bam, blew them all up just that quick. So if you look back at what the United States did, why was the United States warring with Yemen a couple months ago? See how this adds up to the attack that just happened. We already knocked out all their different air defenses and all this different stuff, and then we finally come over, and then after that, they finally come over there and put the kibosh on their whole board, their whole government. People don't see that that's a proxy, and they're not understanding what's going on. It's like you just want to have the blinders on your head and not understand exactly what's going on. This religious push has nothing to do with this. Neither there's no peaceful understanding in anything that's going on. This is colonialism in your face. people take other people's land. We're looking at it as a point is if you was a person that said, I'm defending our sovereignty, why do you have to move forward in any means? They're taking land. They're not defending themselves. They already have the Iron Dome. They have all that. They can put up their defense for themselves. But instead, they're conquering and taking different positions and trying to move themselves in a strategic, worldly position. What's going on with them? And Netanyahu, that is not his name. So why ain't they treating him like they treat everybody else? Why ain't they treating him like they treated Muhammad Ali? Going over there, well, your name is Cassius Clay. Your name is Cassius Clay, making them have to fight to even get the name that he wants to proclaim himself as. But they don't do that with Netanyahu or none of these people that changed their name and are sitting in these points of power for these countries because they dare not threaten them. They dare not mess with their proxy. I was just saying that in an overall view for everybody. Don't get the blanket pulled over your head. And that brother right there, man, I agree with him on some things. I've watched the so-called officer or whatever, and there's some conservative views that I agree with him on, but all in the end, he's just a bootlicker to me. He's a straight-up fucking buster. I ain't never seen nobody never stand up for something that is completely true. Now, if you think that those kids ain't suffering over there, that's fine. But you went to Israel. If you think they're not suffering, get your super police officer ass up, your big, watermelon head ass, and take your monkey ass over there to motherfucking Gaza then right now. Since you don't believe it, go prove it. Tell Netanyahu to fly you to Gaza so you can be the person on the ground to prove that these things ain't happened. You just spoke with Netanyahu. Tell him to send you over there and have the IDF protect you so you don't have to worry like everybody else worries out there. If you really want to stand up and show Americans that things aren't happening over there like they ain't, like you say they're not happening. You got on there talking about, from what I saw on TV. Hop your monkey ass up and take your ass over there. You're speaking to their damn president.
That's some heat right there. I'm not gonna lie. There's some heat right there. And what do they say? What's the term that they say? Don't miss the message because of the messenger. That would take his career to the next level. And if Officer Tatum goes boots on the ground with who protecting him with Israel, you call them what is it called?
The IDF.
The IDF protecting him. That would take his that would take him to a new level. That'll take him to a new level.
As a human being, it would take him to a new level because he would stand behind something that it would make a lot of black people that look at him because he looked like the Uncle Ben box to me on some of the shit that he's speaking on. But that would take him to, it would make me believe that he's willing to commit and actually speak on some things and do some things like as he speaks on. He really sits on it. But just sitting over there talking and telling me you're an officer, you got paid for that. What are you doing with your time? Take your ass on over there and prove.
What did they say? Over 60 reporters have died since 2023 over there?
Yep. And it's just crazy. So that's what I was trying to get at, Plug. Just people don't get fooled. This is propaganda just as well. So just because you didn't see it don't mean it didn't happen, and just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it did happen. But you as humans get to make a decision on yourself. There's terrible things going on in this world, terrible things happening to people. And Israel was doing terrible things to brown-skinned people in their country. And nobody even realized that they used to let that Beta Israel come in, and they sterilized them from 1978 to, I think, 1987. They sterilized all the women. So you could come there and be a person that considered themselves Jewish, but if you were black or if you came from the browner side of things, you had to be sterilized so that gene didn't keep going, even though it was still supposed to be the bloodline. You got to remember the people you're talking about. How Christian is that? How Jewish is that? This is just the truth. It doesn't matter what nobody else is thinking. Go look it up. It's the truth. This is what they did. And then if nobody remembers in the interview, he referred back to the German chancellor. Now, how fucking weird is that? You sitting up here telling me about the Holocaust, but then you said the German chancellor said that we're doing the work that they should be doing. Ain't that a bitch? A motherfucking bitch. And I don't know if anybody caught that. But think about him sitting up there talking about the people of the Holocaust, and then you go back and refer to the relatives of the people of the Holocaust telling you that you guys are doing the work they should be doing. It's crazy. So that's why I'm just trying to put anybody that's watching this or listening to it, I'm just trying to put you up on game because I thought Dorsey was going to get on here, and Dorsey usually hits on the nail on the head, and I don't even have to say nothing. But y'all don't be stupid. You know what I'm saying? Really look at what's going on and look at Officer, bootlicking ass Tatum too, and look at his big watermelon lion ass head. Yeah, I stand for truth and justice. Shut your ass up. You are being lobbied just like anybody else. Because who in the hell, you really think that Officer Tatum should have got this goddamn interview before anybody damn else?
Patrick Bet-David got one first. He from Iran, I think. Patrick Bet-David got an interview like last week, and that's when Patrick Bet-David slipped up and said Netanyahu was going on like a press run. And I said, we're going to see Netanyahu with other creators. And now today, Officer Tatum dropped his. So I don't think this is the end of it either.
No, it's not. This is a whole, you know what I'm saying? This is a whole push for him to push through social media because they're getting knocked down so bad. You know what I mean? But they're not getting knocked down on things that aren't true. He's trying to battle the stuff that I've been coming on this channel speaking about for the last 2-3 months right now. That's what he's battling. The point that you are not the people, the point that y'all came in 1948, the point that you're pushing the Zionist movement. Those are the things that he's battling in social media. You can't really battle war. Every single one of us knows that war is terrible and terrible things happen in war, and every person isn't every person. So rape, murder, and all these different things, they happen when it comes to war. And that's any army. That's any group of people getting too volatile and doing too damn much and being evil. That can happen with any group of people. So what he's sitting up there bringing to people is the lie. The point is, you guys had the fastest war and you attacked people that weren't even engaged in war with you. You attacked Jordan, you attacked Egypt, you attacked Iran. This is something that y'all been doing since you have been there. And now anytime that you guys get touched, you got to touch people 100-fold. So we're almost to the point that every person that got kidnapped or got killed during their invasion on October 7th, they have touched people 100 to 1,000-fold for each person. How far are you going to go?
Okay. What's up, Anonymous? Double tap the screen, shut a live out chat. We are 25 subscribers away from the next sub goal. Let's get to 200 likes right quick. If you're watching on your phone right now, just tap the screen twice. Let's get to 200 likes. I appreciate you, Top Cat. I got another caller. Let me click over and see. They called a few times. Let's see what they got going.
All right, that's 100, man.
Appreciate
Much
it,
love,
Top Cat.
Do your thing.
All right, look.
Call from
I gotta debunk the things this guy is saying.
to accept.
What's going on, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? I called before. My name is Israel. How are you?
Okay, what's going on, Israel?
I really disagree with the things that the guy that was just on the line said.
Okay, you got a platform. Let's hear it.
All right, I want to hear what you say as well. So,
You said you want to know what I think?
Yeah, but I don't remember all the things he said. He just said that Israel wants to conquer land. I mean, Israel gave Gaza away in 2005. Dug the dead bodies up from the cemeteries, took them out of Gaza, left. If they wanted the land, why would they leave?
Okay.
I think that's a pretty simple point. In 1948, they divided the land. 1967, Israel didn't have Gaza. Between 1948 and 1967, Egypt had Gaza. No Palestinian state. What the hell happened between 1948 and 1967? In 1967, Egypt waged war against Israel. Miraculously won by the help of God. Conquered Gaza. We didn't want the war. That's my point.
Okay. He also mentioned about the name changes. I think that was another point he was mentioning.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, I think, a lot of the Jews, they trace I'm a Jew. I'll just be honest. Our belief is that we do trace ourselves back to Israel, we were exiled. We were conquered by the Romans. The Romans gave it the name, Palestine, which is interesting. You know, the letter P. Arabs don't say P. They say Palestine with an S. They can't pronounce the letter P. It's just not in their. They just can't pronounce it. I mean, the name changes. Yeah, we were given different names in Europe. You know, if you're exiled without a homeland, your name changes eventually.
Okay. So for me, my thoughts and opinions on it is, like I kind of gave a little prelude before. I only hear from both sides. Like I hear from the callers and I hear from, the creators talking about it. I haven't cracked a book open to read about this topic specifically. I haven't went to Books A Million. That's something I need to do and do my research so I can, insert myself. But as far as the history between Israel and Palestine, I don't know. I'm
right.
not one to speak on it educatedly.
I do get that. So, like, first of all, I suggest you go to Israel. You know, I've been there. I mean, there definitely is a. Maybe
I can go now. I wasn't able to travel for a long time, but I got my rights back, so I can travel now. So maybe one of these days.
All right. Yeah. That's amazing that you can travel now at least. Yeah, maybe try that. One thing I would ask you is, okay, like even if people don't know much about it, how come they talk so much about it?
I kind of bring a platform. I don't know why people talk so much about it. I really don't. I just bring a platform on this subject. I speak more on other things, things that I really know about. But when it comes to this specific topic, Israel, Gaza, I feel like it's not our war. That's kind of was my foundation from the very beginning. If you want to know the honest truth, I feel like it's not our war. It's kind of really not our business. I feel like it is a holy war that's been going on for a very long time. That's just my stance on it.
All right, respect that. So, good luck.
All right, man. Appreciate you for calling. I had another caller call in. Hold on, who was it? I missed the call.
From
Top Cat, Cal.
What's going on, Top Cat?
I just was getting back, man. I was chilling, but I heard somebody mention something about my comments, and so I just get back to, give a response to it if you want me to,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. You got the floor.
All right, so, and this is no strike at the confused brother that was on the phone. I'm pretty sure that he's been monopolized in thought too, because of what I heard him speaking on, like the 48 to the 67. Well, did you miss the 69? Did you miss the 78? Did you miss the 84? Did you miss the 85? And then you spoke on 2005 when they did that. Those are all places that were being taken over by Israel. You're still not talking about them protecting Israel. You're still talking about them invading other places. So, yes, Egypt did have a section of that point. You guys go blow them up. You said you didn't want the war. Then why did you attack Jordan, Egypt, Iran, and I believe like two other different places? It's called like the Week's War, 2-week war or something like that, that you guys launched surprise attacks on all these different people. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. When you speak to people that are defending something, you're always going to get a select thing that they speak about. I'm going to speak about all of it because nobody's perfect in this world. But when it comes to the point of how Israel's moving and the point that they're the UK's proxy and the United States proxy, they don't want to, own up to that. They don't want to speak on the point of what Israel does. Everything is only the point that they've been pressed to that situation. So I spoke on Beta Israel. And I spoke on how they were getting kicked out of a land that they've been at and never left, but there's somebody that came from out of town and they're coming back and controlling it. Just like he skipped over the points of how people were speaking on the names. He said, oh, they changed their names. They got pushed out of somewhere. So what? When they got pushed out of somewhere, they didn't give up their religion or anything, so why did they have to give up their names? Those are not the people. Those are converts. Those are proselytes. It's proven. So when they came back down there with their Polish selves, they came back down there. I've been moving with American weapons and being pushed with American and British or UK weapons ever since. But why aren't you speaking on all this instead of speaking on the point that, okay, I'm this too? In 67, they didn't want the war. Then why did they have the sneak attack first? They were the first people that attacked. Been the first people moving in the prevalent situation, period. Just giving a rebuttal on that situation and saying, when you're sitting up there addressing only the things on war, address the things that started the war. Address the point that the Gaza Strip, when it was under Egypt, was it oppressed as it has been under so-called Israel rule? Did Egypt control the water, the electricity, and all that point so they turn it off and turn it on when they want to? Israel control the flow of food and weapons and different things that come to them from the ocean? Or did Egypt control all that? Did Egypt consider them equals in people, or did they call them dogs and consider them less than people and take their land? Did Egypt say that they couldn't pray or come to Jerusalem? What did Egypt do? If you're going to bring up Egypt, you have to back up what you're saying. You just can't say Egypt controlled that part. Well, when Egypt controlled that part, you said Egypt waged war on Israel. Well, there was a bunch of different African countries and different other places that said that they didn't agree with Israel, and if Israel did something, it would be declared war. Well, ain't that the same thing that's happening now? People are saying, okay, if you cross this line, then we're going to have to declare war. Well, Israel has done it every single time. They said, we're going to cross that line. When it came to Gaza, the whole world said, hey, you guys, it's okay to go over there and get a little get back, but you shouldn't be over there doing this. Did they care what the world say? They told the world straight up. Netanyahu and his first general told them, we don't care what anybody says. We're not stopping until we rid the world of what we consider terrorism. Not terrorism itself, what we consider terrorism. So they're moving on their own agenda, and everybody else has to move by that. Even the United States have been pissed with them, and we still have bowed our neck. Like he said, he's been a great person with us, and great, yeah, he's been great. He just went over there and bombed Yemen and knocked Yemen's whole air defense infrastructure down so that you guys could go in there and blow up their heads of government. Wouldn't y'all consider that a form of terrorism if somebody did that to y'all? Somebody came and killed Netanyahu and his whole top bar. It's not even war. It's not even handled on the battlefield. They came in and just blew you guys straight up right in the middle of Jerusalem. Would you guys consider that a terrorist act? Of course you would. But for everybody else, we live by different rules. Just like that word anti-Semitic. There was no such word. This is a word that was created by the Zionist movement.
Okay. Appreciate that, Top Cat. I got another caller calling in, man. Let me get him in here, man. I appreciate you, Top Cat.
Yeah, I just had to give a rebuttal, man. Myself, man.
Look.
Call from.
Damn, I answered and he hung up. Why doesn't that number pop back up either? That's the only number that doesn't. Call back in, whoever just called. Dorsey, hold on 1 second, Dorsey. I'm going to get you in here. I'm trying to get some new callers calling. Caller, whoever just called in, call back. I answered and you hung up. Now I'm finna call Dorsey.
John.
What's going on, caller?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I know who you are, but tell the chat who you are in case new visitor viewers are in here.
Yeah, I called twice. I'm just calling to respond again to the previous caller. First of all, I love that man, so respect to him. Not in a disrespectful way. I just want to disagree.
Okay.
Is he still on the line or no? That's not.
Nah, he's not on the line. He's in the chat though.
All right, so he hears. I mean, I just heard. I didn't hear everything he said again, but I heard a couple things. He said why did Israel fight with Jordan? So 1967, Israel did not control Gaza or the West Bank. Controlled Gaza, Jordan controlled the West Bank. Right? Israel did attack Egypt first, miraculously defeated them. The reason they attacked them first was not out of nowhere. It was because Nasser, the Egyptian president, was clearly saying
Damn, I didn't hang him up. I don't know who tried to silence that man. Call back, caller.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah, I got disconnected, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly respond. I don't want to talk too much, so interrupt me if I'm talking too much.
Okay.
So in 1967, Egypt clearly wanted to destroy Israel, right? You had the president of Egypt saying the Arab people want to fight. He blocked the waters, the waters where Israel can, it's called the Straits of Tiran, which is clearly an act of war. Israel did not want to fight. Israel preemptively attacked Egypt because they knew Egypt was preparing for war. The main thing I want to say is, I don't know, the previous caller spoke about Jordan. After the war started, Israel sent a message to the prime minister of Jordan, the king of Jordan, I think it was King Abdullah, and he said, please don't fight, we don't want to fight. And Egypt lied to Jordan, telling them, no, we're winning the war, don't worry, join, we're going to destroy the Jews. So Jordan joined because they believed the lies of Egypt and also the USSR, Russia, the communist Russia. And that's why Jordan joined. And Israel miraculously in the Six-Day War, the guy said 2 weeks or something, it's called the Six-Day War. Israel conquered Gaza and the West Bank. So my main point is like, dude, how come there was no Palestinian state before then? Egypt controlled Gaza. Jordan controlled the West Bank. Where was the Palestinian state? I spoke about Yemen. I mean, Israel killed the prime minister of Yemen. Israel didn't kill the prime minister of Yemen. They killed the prime minister of the rebel group within Yemen that's called the Houthis. 150,000 people have died in Yemen as a result of that civil war. I'm sure that guy doesn't speak about that or doesn't know about it. How come? I don't know. People only care about things when the Jews are involved.
He speaks about the Houthis. Top Cat comes in and he speaks about the Houthis. Go ahead, though. I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead. Like I said, I'm listening.
Whatever. Those are the 2 points I wanted to bring up, and I guess I'll hear his response. But my main point is, in 1967, the only reason Israel has Gaza on the West Bank is because Egypt and Syria invaded Israel or wanted to fight with Israel. And the only reason we conquered East Jerusalem and the West Bank is because we asked Jordan, don't fight, and Jordan still wanted to fight, and miraculously Israel won. So that's my main point is we didn't want to conquer Gaza on the West Bank. They started the war. We, in a defensive war, conquered it back. And then, I don't know, the guy spoke about Yemen. I mean, dude, I think everyone should be happy that we killed terrorist leaders. I mean, when we killed Bin Laden, America was happy. Be happy that we killed the Houthi leaders. So that's my main point, and I guess I'll listen to his response.
Okay. Appreciate you calling.
Just taking my call.
All right, I'm finna call this guy back. He been calling a lot. What's your name, caller? Where you calling from?
I'm from Chicago.
What's going on, Chicago?
Yeah.
What's going on, Chicago?
What's going on, God? Man, here's my thing. I'm listening to you. You're a cool cat because you let people go over there and speak their mind and let them say what they got to say. So the matter is this. They have never set foot in Jordan. They've never set foot in Egypt. They've never set foot nowhere over there. They're talking about everything that's going on over there. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry, I'm listening to both of y'all on the thing. So the thing is this, I'm gonna be respectful. All these people in Europe and descendants of Europe always think it's else's fault for doing what they're doing while they're over there conquering other people's land. If Israel was so peaceful, Israel would just chill and have a conversation. This isn't something hard. It's not like Hamas just grew out the water. back in the day when what's his name? The guy RFK. Been going way back then, and they're talking about 19 something. This is going way back before that. You know, when the British put up the land, they gave them a place to be because they wanted to come back from Russia. You know what I mean? And then they gave them a plot of land. They could have kept that plot of land. Nobody tried to go over there and take anything from them.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you saying that
not to mention the fact, they're getting skewed information anyway. They're getting propaganda. Like the old boy was saying before, this is just propaganda. You know, and I don't really like talking about these subject matters because I've never been there either. You know, because first off, we don't even know about our own land. We don't know about Torah, in Africa, about what the brothers are doing over there. We don't even have these conversations. We do that talking about other people's conversations. They ain't talking about that. This is kind of silly. I think we should have a platform talking about where we come from, what's going on over where we're from, as opposed to what's going on in everybody.
Yeah, I talk about where I'm from, and they don't like it when I talk about where I'm from. We had those conversations over here. They try to make me from Africa. They try to tell me I'm not indigenous to this land.
The thing is, we descendants of Africa. We slaves from Africa. I mean, that's our country.
So now that I'm telling you that I'm not from Africa, I'm indigenous. You gonna tell me I'm from Africa?
Okay, well, where you from then? I mean, you from America?
Yeah, my people walk the Trail of Tears, man.
Oh, y'all feel you, God. But what I'm saying is, our descendants are from there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Whether we were Moors, whether we were Christians, whether we were Muslims, whether we were whatever we were, we all came from that land. It didn't start over here. I can bet you that much. In a day, if you look at your roots, go there and get your history took, I bet you will go back to where we come from. But my thing isn't even that. My thing is, why are we so involved about European issues? They're not our issues. Our issues are not European issues. You don't believe me? Go over there and talk to one of the European and say, hey, look, I'd like to know, I'm an indigenous person from here, but the thing is, I want to know about my heritage. Yeah. I'm listening, brother. Because I'm a wise man, very wise. I'm not one to go over there and say, hey, look, because I was born here makes me from here. Because if that was the case, where did all these other white folks come from in here? Weren't indigenous here. Because they came and conquered and made them indigenous, that doesn't make sense. That's not even logical. Okay, people come here from other places because they come from other places. Okay?
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate you for calling in, caller.
You know what I mean? And that's my thing. We too busy studying about everything else has nothing to do with us and getting back to where we come from. I understand we're here, but we had to come from someplace. We weren't born out the ground from here. We didn't get here just on, we didn't get here because our people was here all the time.
Okay.
Let's talk about our history and then get us to grow from that. And we'll learn a lot more about everybody else's history through where we came from. Trust me, I can bet you that much. With all due respect, man. And I have no disrespect to any other culture, but what I'm just saying is, he can go back and name all his stuff about his culture in Israel. Somebody's going to name all his stuff about Britain. They can name his stuff about Ireland. They can go over there and tell where their land is in Ireland. They can take you back where, their family came back from over here. But we're the only people in this country who can't say nothing. Point out to no land we came from. Reason for that.
Okay.
I mean, don't take it easy.
All right now, caller. I appreciate you. All right, y'all said the caller was a little bit muffled. He was a little bit muffled. I do have a nice microphone right here, chat. I got this mic right here. It's a Shure mic. I got it, man. I appreciate the donation that got me this. I just gotta switch my operating software on my laptop because this mic is not compatible with that. But I don't know, man. Every time we had these conversations, it's like everybody wants to tell me where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I never tell nobody where they from. I never say, hey, you not from there, you not from here. I don't know why people act like there were no indigenous blacks in America. Like, I don't understand. You know, I just don't. I mean, it's documented. It's in the history books. A quick search would tell you there were indigenous blacks here. You know what I'm saying? Like, my great aunt ended up settling in Tennessee. Like, I wish she was still alive. Like, I want to do those videos. I want to do one of those videos, bro, where you just go and you ask your people, like, where y'all from. I wish y'all could see my great aunt. Like, she black, but y'all swear she was an Indian. You know what I'm saying? But she my color, hair all the way down. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the way down past her butt. Like, y'all should have seen my OG, like my mom. If this wasn't YouTube, if y'all in the Discord, I'll show y'all a picture of my mom. Like, you can ask people that went to school with me. My mom used to sit in the bleachers, bro. Sit in the bleachers and watch me play football. Her ponytail would be hanging down past the bleachers. Go ahead, Doris.
Hey, man, we FBA, homie. My people are Choctaw Indian and so forth. Can't nobody tell you about where you come from. You know where you come from. It's always outsiders. Once again, I say the word outsiders. People who don't know where the fuck they come from. We got a history. We Choctaw and black. Are we Natchez and black? Are we Chickasaw and black? Are we Cherokee and black? Greek and black? Seminoles and black? Just want to try to take away from us just because they don't have nothing to hold on to. No, I get sick of that. FBA, foundational black Americans. We the ones who was here before Columbus got here. If you look in those books, oh boy, don't look in no books. I doubt if he even read a book. Because if he did his research, he would see the drawings.
Hold on. Crash Sheet 1989. I do not hate Africa. I do not hate Africans. I'm just saying that whenever anybody says they were here, everybody has a problem with it. Nobody gets mad at somebody saying that they're from Russia or Poland or Africa or Jamaica or Haiti but if you aren't, oh my God, it's plug at the dark. I want to just say it, bro. Y'all have a problem with black people saying that they are indigenous to America. I don't know why you have a problem. When a quick search, just crack open a book. It's here. It's here. Dark as me, darker than me. Y'all, this high cheekbones. Like, I just don't get it. Go ahead.
Hey, so my thing is, these people who claim that we ain't this and we ain't that, what are you basing your science off of? What, white man science? That means that if I got 6 generations of black, even if I was born 6 generations from black, still black? You understand where I'm coming from? But if I got half Choctaw in me and half black, I might not even be pure black African. You understand what I'm saying? Why everybody scared of us us waking up and identifying on what we want to be? Really want to go with it? Well, white people call themselves Americans. Don't nobody get mad at them. Don't nobody question where they come from. When we decide that we want to be named as foundational black Americans, then everybody got an issue. I don't know shit about Africa. I know it's what I see on TV. Now, I also know that when Africans come over here, they don't know where the hell they come from. From a country that was established in the 1960s. Syria wasn't around. It was a bunch of tribes. Got nationalized. Germany wasn't even around in 1865. When we got our freedom, Germany still was a bunch of states. It wasn't even a country yet. Oh, the coyotes, I know. But anyway, like I said, man, I get mad at people because we have a family history. Like you said, your mom, her hair was down to her butt. Well, guess what? My great-grandmother, she was a short person, too. That's what made it even more crazier. Her hair was down to her ankles. She was real dark-skinned with a bunch of wrinkles. I mean, because this was my great-grandmother. Great-grandfather, he was a tall redskin with gray hair on 400 acres of land. You know, people try to tell you who you are. Don't nobody know who you are. I know who I am. Why would I lie to you? I ain't got to lie. Who are you? I ain't trying to impress y'all. We FBA. Over it. Know who we are. We got red skin in us. We got this blood in us, the warriors. They call us renegades because we refuse to put up with the bullshit. You know, and as far as you Africans, hey, y'all don't know us. You ain't been here. You just got here. We've been here. Even if we were been here from Africa, we've been here 400 years, bro. We mix. I mean, a mix is like in roots, a mixture of tribes. So we're a hybrid. And that's if we did come from Africa.
See, I wasn't even trying to take the subject here. That's why I tell y'all, every time this happens, we just had 300-400 people in here. When I get to saying what the fuck I'm saying, everybody want to run up out of here. Now we got 100. That's why I didn't want to take the convo here. Tonight wasn't even supposed to be one of those nights. We had a reparations debates. We had a history debates. But it's like everybody wants to box my channel in. Like, hey, I see you talking about this, but this is what you should be talking about. And then we go down this funnel. That's why I curate my own show. Like, if y'all want to curate you a show, hey, YouTube is free. You need 50 subscribers to go live. Please stop coming over here trying to curate my show. Not you, Dorsey. I'm just saying, in general, the people who say I should be talking about other shit.
Ain't no problem, man, because I'm not trying to plug my old show, but Freddie Dorsey.
Plug that
YouTube,
shit. Plug that shit.
Freddie Dorsey YouTube channel. That was me. And I got two of them. One with the red mask on and the one with me on the other one. So you check out. But then when when Trump became president, I gave up all that shit. I'm like, nah, nigga, you ain't finna get me. I was talking bad about Trump. Said he was son of the devil and everything. Him and Elon Musk. But as soon as he became president, hey, man, I had to change that. I had to stop that. Okay? So when they come to me, I'm going to be like, yeah, man, hey, I changed my mind. Anyway, back to the subject. Everybody else, if you really want to be real about it, Mexicans ain't really a real people. They're a conglomerate of people. You got European in you, you got African in you, you got Indian in you. So you're not a real people either because you didn't exist 500 years ago. You see where I'm coming from? Now, Puerto Ricans, they exist because there's Taino people. The people in here in America, the Aborigines here. We the original people. The land is Mississippi, Tougaloo, Mississippi. And the word Tougaloo means two creeks. Creeks. And guess what? Grandmother and my grandfather have land on those two creeks. Trying to tell people who they are. Niggas, some of you people didn't get here until the Irish got here. Some of you people didn't get here until Polish people got here. In the 1860s, 1870s, we've been here for longer than y'all. Even say for instance, theoretically, we were slaves out here. We still got a 400-year head start on y'all. Talking all that shit. To the Americans. That's why we ain't getting deported. That's why.
Dorsey going on, man. Listen, we gonna rein Dorsey in, chat. We gonna rein Dorsey in,
man, because they know. Look at our skin color. We got red. You see the underlying red tones in our skin tone. Shine the light on us. The red gonna come out. Yeah, we black and proud. We embrace that heritage, that culture. We embrace black culture.
All right, here go Top Cat, man. Let me get Top Cat in here, then we finna get up out of here for the night.
Let them know. And one more thing. Them people in Israel, them fake-ass Jews, them ain't no real They stole people's identity and shit. Talking about I changed my name. You change your name when you commit a crime. I don't want to hear that shit. All right, bye.
Let me call the Top Cat, man. Dorsey on one tonight, y'all. Dorsey on one, man. He done had his coffee. Dorsey done had his damn coffee tonight, man.
Hello?
What's going on, Top Cat?
Yeah, man. I seen your live getting pushed in a certain direction, man. I just had one little thing to say, just a rebuttal. And
nah, you got it. Shit, we all right, man. Well, I'm finna get up out of here. Shit, I'm finna carry my ass to me.
Hey, man, I'm over here by this water enjoying this beautiful day that the Most High made, man. But I was just going to say something about when people start talking about prom and all that. You know, I got kind of a blanket effect on everything that I do, man. But when it comes to that book, and I'm not going to go where everybody else go, not these lands, not this maritime government, none of that. I'm going to go straight to what it says. It says it's a land of people of the hot, it's a land of people of the season, it's a land of people of the cold, you know, and that's basically Ham, Japheth, and Shem. So Shem has the lands of the season, and Ham has the lands that are always hot, and Japheth has the lands that are cold. If you know who you are, you kind of know where you're at and what you're doing and the people that you're talking about. So my people walk the trailer fields, just like Dorsey just said. My people is just from Memphis, and we got property all the way to the Mississippi, to the border, you know. So I don't put a label on the Most High, and I don't put them in a box. So when they say that things happen everywhere, there's nothing new under the sun. So in my mind, there might not only be one Jerusalem that people think. There might not be one anything that anybody thinks. So we have to, you know, really take the word for what it is. So if you're in a place where it gets hot, cold, and whatever, shoot, you know what type of people you must be. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter to me if you in Asia, Africa, the Americas, whatever. It's going to matter more on the equator. And when it comes to our people, we've been here since the beginning, and we've been spread all over this place. But okay, so that's just that on that. But let me go ahead and spunk it up on what old boy was talking about earlier when he said something that I don't
Chicago, I'm gonna call you back in a second, Chicago. Let Top Cat finish what he talking about. I'm gonna call you back, Chicago. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna be fast. So when he was speaking on what he was speaking on, he said something when he first made his first comment. I think it was the second or the first time he called, and he said, we can trace our lineage back to Israel. Like we can trace our lineage back to that time and those places. Well, that's against what the book says. The book says that you're going to be spread to the four corners, and you will be a remnant. I will erase everything about you until you are going to be woke. That's what they done is stole this word woke, and they're turning it bad so that they turn us away from understanding what waking up is truly, what it truly means to the Most High. So in another end, I feel like, you know, I'm just giving everybody a little bit of knowledge, but I'm telling you what it really is. You know what I mean? But we're moving total different manner than what we're supposed to be moving. So now people are waking up, and there's a bunch of people that are scared of who we are and what you are to this earth. If you've been here, you know you've been here. Any place on this earth. So when old boy was speaking, he never spoke on that, but he said something that really put his foot in the jar. When it comes to the word, you're never supposed to, there won't be a remnant. It says there won't be a remnant of you left. You will not know who you are. So Dorsey said what he said, you say what you say, all of us say what we say, but there's something in common. There's only so far we can go back in that. But he said he can go all the way back, almost 3,000, 4,000 years, all the way to the Roman Empire. Against the word, and you just definitely excluded yourself from being the person or the people that you say you are. Because if you believe in the God that you said that you believe in, he said that you will not have no remnant of you. You will not be able to record yourself back to Israel, back to the Palestinian area, or any part of what I call and know of as Northern Africa. Excluded himself when he said that. He basically put himself in the box that he should have been in, because he said that I can find myself. Then that is automatically a lie, because the book says that you will never be able to find yourself. I will erase you.
Appreciate you, Top Cat. Let me call Chicago back then. We gonna end this episode, man.
All right, that's 100.
All right, no. Damn, I'm trying to call Chicago. It's not even ringing. There you go. What's going on, Chicago?
Man, I'm just trying to tell the cat, man, what he's saying is just outrageous. Silliness. He act like I keep saying this. Why do they think that? Why do they think that we just came from here? And because Indians were here too, you know, there were Moors. There were Moors in Europe. For like I said, 700 years. Okay, from Africa. Taught them the science, how to be respectful, how to build. You know, taught them honor, loyalty, everything else. And then they act like for some reason that doesn't matter. You know, and they act like, no. We were here before that. There's a difference. Continents were separated. Okay, Europe was on this side. This continent wasn't even explored by the British. Just because somebody's dark don't mean they're the same people.
Correct.
That is just so silly. It doesn't mean that because you go to India, does that mean that they're African too?
No.
That has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with that. We're not black, number one. We come from a place. Okay? We're not N-words. We come from a place. Nigger means black. We're not that. Okay? You act like we came over here on a boat and we decided to come here. And, you know, mix around and then chill and show our knowledge. That's not how that went. Okay, that's just crazy talk what he's saying. That's just nuts. Okay, if your family mixed with Indians and mine did too from Lightfoot, that doesn't mean that's where I come from. That just means I'm mixed with somebody who was here in this country already. Through slavery, because I'm sure it wasn't no trip. It wasn't like we decided to get on the boat and decided. Millions of people got kicked off that boat and died from our country that we don't even know nothing about. That's what we don't ever talk about. That's what we act like we don't point the finger at our people over there. And they don't like us and we don't like them. And why would we like all the people when we would say people who came over here? Because it was trained to us. That's silly talk. I'm not even talking about religious crap. I'm just talking dead serious. You know, they act like we don't have real history in this world. You know, what did he say? My family this, my family that, part of this, part of that, part of this. When did we become pure? Because I don't see that in Africa. Africa say, hey, look, you know, we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that, we got this, with that. And I hate to say Africa because the word comes from a German word from Afrique. Don't test my knowledge. Okay, Afrique means without cold. Okay, so go over there and tell him, if you really want to know your history, base it off the person who taught you your history, who enslaved you. Because you'll never get real history.
All right, man.
Really want to know. If you really want to know, I'm not saying that you're not indigenous here now. Just saying that the fact of the matter is that you had a place just like everybody else had a place. Why do every time we talk about us, we act like we're part of everything else, but we're not a part of our own? Shocked by that. Everybody else say they're part of their own. And they come here and they mingle and they date people. They may date black, what's up with that? They may date people from Africa. Now you can say that. People from the land, you know what I mean, our land. And they don't sit there and talk about that crap like that. But we're the only people who act like, you know, we're everybody. We're everybody. That's that slave talk. We're not everybody. We come from a place. I like the cat. I know how he's feeling. You know, but don't let this country decide where you from. Like, they don't let their people decide where they're from. Don't let us decide where we're from. Okay, you see these people in Israel fight for Israel?
Yeah. You said, do I see Israel fight for Israel?
So the people here, living here, who are born here, fight for Israel because they know where they come from. Why are we the only people who every time we talk about, like, quote unquote Africa, like, I don't have nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with that. I got nothing to do with that. If something's happening in Ireland and someone's an Irish person here, they know family all the way back to Ireland. We don't know nobody back to where we from. They don't. Everybody else knows where they're back from. We the only ones who don't know it, and there's a reason because we've been cut off from it. So I don't want to hear about people talking about, I'm this and I'm that. Okay, I have no problem with it. I'm just saying we have an origin. All of us have an origin. I'm not knocking everybody's origin. If somebody comes from wherever they come from, that's fine, and it's proud for them to have their origin because they bring a part of that here. But we didn't get a chance to bring a part of that here on our own. Oh, yes, but not before.
All right, man. I appreciate you for calling in, man. We finna end this episode. We'll be back in the morning.
I'm sorry, man, because I have to say, listen to my people talk like that. Because we the only people don't like to talk about where we come from. We don't want to know nothing about where we come from. Everybody else. All the Cherokees and all the Indians here. Try to talk about all this other stuff and all this other stuff, but when it comes to us, name a place besides Nigeria, Ghana, and what's that? Zimbabwe, Tanzania. Another place. What were you at there? I don't even know. That's not even my land. In your mind. Everybody else got a place up. Come from. I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about before here. Yeah, we all had grandmas here. We all got all that. That's fine. I just don't get this logic when we don't have an origin.
All right, caller.
Now it's about original origin. Like everybody's got their original origin. You go over there, go over there, get one of those chicks with the red hair and skin, and then they get over there and they go, they look at their mom's wall, and then you can see they got a family background off in Ireland or back in Britain or back in someplace or Australia. Same thing in Australia, but even in Australia, that's not even their country. But back in Europe, got them pictures. They got them. They could go back, and they got family still living there. You have to go back, and we have to go to original places we come from. Nobody has a clue, and that's the reason why I'm talking. Okay, we have a place. We have a place. We're talking about roots, and you all watch Toby get whipped, and y'all talk about, yeah, but that don't matter. Getting killed off the ship, that don't matter. We're here. We've been here. Stop that, man. We came from an origin. You want to read a book, read a book. Talk about a TV show. All right, man. Y'all take it easy. One.
All right, now, caller. I had the little event, man. He had to get that off, man. Said it, everybody from Africa. It's crazy. Yeah, Yeah, Chad, we finna get up out of here, man. finna get up out of here. We'll be back on the next one, chat. We'll be back on the next one, man. Oh my God. Good night, chat. We'll have this debate, man. We're gonna make a heritage debate one day. We just gonna have everybody come speak for their own damn heritage and debate. We're gonna do it on a StreamYard panel. One of these days. We just can't take every episode there. You know. I do curate this show on my own. Good night, chat.